social media platforms at Next Round Live on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Whether it's Dunaway sleeping in the studio, Tim and Lunsford breaking down the latest movie release, or Game Day Chronicles, we are here to keep you updated on the latest sports news while, of course, having just a little bit of fun. Follow at Next Round Live across all platforms to join in.
Follow Next Round Live on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. The social media team at Next Round Live will share the latest interviews and videos from UAB, Alabama, Auburn, and campuses all over the college landscape. You'll also get the latest highlights and news from the Next Round Live Daily Show. Jim, Lance, and Ryan will share their thoughts, and remember, you can always see the old shows on the Next Round Live YouTube channel. Subscribe, like, and don't forget to comment. Turn on the notifications so you don't miss a thing. It's Next Round Live on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube.
You've been wearing that thin, raggedy t-shirt for years now, and people cannot stop whispering and staring in your vicinity. We've all been there. Luckily, there's a solution to your lack of fashion and social cues. At NextRound.store, they have plenty of options when it comes to a variety of shirts and hats. Once you start putting that Next Round gear on, be prepared to make new lifelong friends and hundreds of unforgettable conversations. Hope you like random high fives in the street, because that's what you're getting after visiting NextRound.store.
The Double Down Media podcast family is live and full of content for all ages. The Mystery Fifth Hour gives the Next Round host a chance to talk about everything but sports. Pour a glass of Bama and bourbon, our weekly college football conversation, while sipping on some of the most interesting pours in the bourbon world. And in our Not For All Ages podcast, The Last Call, LT takes off the gloves for in-depth conversations with stars like Taylor Hicks, presented by Redmont Vodka. Find these podcasts and more by searching The Next Round on Apple, Spotify, and on our website, nextroundlive.com.
When on YouTube, you constantly hear requests to please like and subscribe. Well, here at Disrupt Media, we aren't going to play that game. Those demands are frankly outdated. So we just want you to hit like or subscribe. It's like a choose-your-own-adventure novel. Pick a path, hit like, or hit subscribe. It's your call. We don't care which, just pick one. Or go to Roll Tide Pods and do it. Or War Damn Pods. Or the Disrupt Media YouTube channel. Or The Meltdown. Just make a decision and stick with it. Like or subscribe, the choice is yours.
Follow Next Round Live on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. The social media team at Next Round Live is dedicated to giving you daily news conferences and practice video from UAB, Alabama, Auburn, and around college football. Follow and compare to the sites you used to visit. You'll also get the latest highlights and news from the Next Round Daily Show. Turn on the notifications so you don't miss a thing. Next Round Live on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. See more at nextroundlive.com.
Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown, and Rockstar. Live from the Birmingham Racecourse Casino Studios, The Next Round, presented by Bud Light, is on now.
Because of where we do our show from here in Birmingham, Alabama, we are friends with a lot of folks in the SEC offices. Congratulations to them yesterday. Day one of the SEC tournament, great baseball. But last night, Mississippi State and Ole Miss, the crowd they had for virtually an 8:30 Tuesday night sellout, I think it set a record for Tuesday night crowds. It was packed, sold out.
Well, they got a little drama there at the end, didn't they?
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, it was worth the trip over if you're a State fan. If you're an Ole Miss fan, you'd rather stay in Oxford.
Yeah, well, hopefully you hang around and enjoy the weather and some more baseball, watching other teams. You're going to be, I'm going to say you're in the tournament. Mincy is devastated. We should see Mincy maybe today at some point.
No, I think tomorrow. He had something
okay.
come up. They added something to his Barstool schedule, so he texted me last night and asked if he could come tomorrow.
He's always big time in us now. Mincy, my goodness.
He's made friends with Vandy Whistler, too, by the way.
Here we go.
That was
Mincy.
a weird interaction.
It really was.
See that.
So this is Mincy with the game with the walk-off.
Yeah.
But, I mean, how important is this, really?
Yeah. By the way, Mincy needs to lose the shades a little during the daylight hours and to get rid of the raccoon eyes.
I'm going to say the shades.
I don't think Mincy cares.
Knowing Barstool, I'm going to say the shades are probably an endorsement deal.
Yeah, that Tuesday crowd there. Congratulations to everyone at the SEC office. Full slate again today. In fact, they start in 30 minutes out there with LSU and Kentucky. LSU, Kentucky, South Carolina, And Arkansas, after Alabama gets beat by the Gamecocks, Vandy and Tennessee, and Mississippi State and Texas A&M as they continue with the SEC tournament. Get your tickets to SEC Sports. Our friends at A-Tix with tickets. If you're new to the area, they're a great ticket broker in town, and they can handle everything for you out at the Hoover Met. Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown, Rockstar Forrester, Tyler Lunsford, all in the back room back there. Look at that back row. Woo! Black is always the predominant color behind the wall, by the way.
Scott's heavy on the White Sox gear.
They must have won their 9th game last night.
You do know that black makes most people look good, right?
That's right. I like black. You just can't
black's
wear it in the
just
summer.
a classic. It's a great shade.
It's just hard to wear in the summer around here because you get hot.
Well, as long as you're not in the sun.
Yeah, if you're not outside, you're right.
Yeah.
I'm outside a lot.
I throw a lot of blue on because it brings out my eyes.
Does it?
No blue eyes.
No blue eyes
Tight
over
shot.
here. Tight shot. No, please don't. Please don't.
Just show them blue eyes. You do have, from one hetero man to another hetero man, you got nice eyes.
Thank you.
Nice eyes, no homo.
You're
You're leaking a little bit in your left eye. What happened?
I woke up at 2 o'clock.
He is.
We're going to put you up on the rack here and see what's going
The
on.
emotional first segment.
I woke up at 2 in the morning, man.
I love this Jim. Punchy Jim.
Or did Kalen DeBoer finally know your name after the 4th or 5th
And I
meeting?
couldn't sleep.
Yeah,
No,
and
I
he
woke
was
up
like,
at
"Hey,
2.
Jim."
If that had happened, I would have gone to sleep at 2. But waking up at 2 is not good. That leg pain is back, and
Oh, no.
You know,
not the leg pain.
you play golf. My doctor was like, "Hey, I was like, can I get a Toradol shot? My leg's starting to hurt a little bit." And she's like, "Yeah, if you're going to be able to rest it." And I was like, "No, actually, I'm going to play 7 rounds in 5 days." And she goes, "I'm not going to waste a Toradol shot on you."
Is that what she said?
Yeah.
I like that attitude, though. Like,
Oh, did she at least call you something in, a good script?
Nope. We'll deal with it on the backside. See, I'm not going to waste it. If you're not going to do what I say, I'm not going to waste it.
Yeah, I mean, I understand what she's saying.
You're not going to rest it, I'm not going to. She wants me to not play golf for a month.
Are you fearful you'll get you ain't gonna not play golf for a month?
That's
Not
what I
June,
told her.
Not
That's
May
what I
and
told
June.
her.
Are you fearful you will get hooked on pain meds?
Not at all. I am not an addicted person.
Yeah.
Whatever.
I am not. Gambling.
Says your bookmaker circa 1988.
Gambling, yes.
Okay.
Did you give him the keys? He drive it off, or did they tow it? They repo it.
Oh no, they drove it. He came and got it.
How many things do you have
It
to
was
be?
it was a personal meeting.
How many things?
He put my ping golf clubs in the back of my Tercel and drove it off.
So basically, your entire apartment left.
One of his assistants drove it off, I should say.
He was like, "This thing's got better trunk space than I imagined." How many things do you have to be addicted to say you have an addictive personality? Like, is it just the one? Like, I think
No.
I mean, I've got I don't know if I've got an addictive personality or if I just like routine. Which one do you think I have?
I think everybody can be addicted to certain things. I think if you have one addiction, it's basically a vice.
Okay.
I think addictive personality would be basically anything that you try that is a vice you enjoy.
Okay. And you can't stop doing it, basically.
Yeah.
But back to the pill thing. Every pill I take, I don't even like taking. Maggie always gets on me. Just go to the doctor. Take some medicine. Take a vitamin. I hate taking any pills at all. Like, I hate taking for headaches or anything. I just want my body to do it naturally. Take care of the headaches and the pain.
Well, it's not working.
So when I'm having to take a Tylenol or an Advil, then that's bothering me.
Yeah, the pain gets more chronic the older you get. You know, when I was a kid, I never took an aspirin, a Tylenol. I really still don't. But, like, if I've got the bad pain, you know, when I had to go see our friends at Precision, Dr. Patterson, when I thought something was really wrong with my knee and it ended up being the L4, L5, I ended up having to take some type of pain pills. I can see how people get addicted to those things.
Oh, yeah.
Now,
I mean,
Laura's right. I'm addicted to Diet Coke. I'll own that one.
No, you are.
I am too.
No doubt.
Yeah.
I've never denied it. Yeah.
I am too. Why do I drink alcohol then? I really don't drink a lot, Goose, to be honest with you. Like, I probably had...
When was the last drink you had?
I mean, we just saw a picture of you chugging moonshine during the day.
Yeah.
You really don't drink.
I don't drink a lot, I'll be honest with you. I probably had 5 beers in 5 days on a guy's trip, and then whatever birdie shots we did on the golf course.
Really?
Yeah. And that's all I had. I wasn't drunk one time on this trip, on vacation there. I don't drink during the week at home. I don't drink a lot. I drink more in front of you guys on the show than I do anywhere else. Thursday night, Bud Light game night, anywhere else. I don't drink a lot. I don't. You know, I've
told
glass
people
of wine.
really the only drinkers up here are me and Lil T.
Yeah, Now, I will binge occasionally, like if we're at the Floribama, you know.
Yeah.
I've been laid out in that teeny tiny bathroom before trying to get upright to go to the Army-Navy game.
Yeah. Not at the Floribama, in the condo.
Yeah, the condo.
Bathroom's quite large at the Floribama.
Yeah. And the two other bathrooms in the condo are very well.
Yes,
but when
yes.
you're
The one you get
stuck
forced to use, yeah.
when you're stuck in the kids' room, the kid
yes.
bathroom is very
Always,
small.
Always.
Not made for a grown man to lay out, throw up in the toilet.
Yeah, look, here's the way I describe people that really enjoy alcohol and people that don't. And I was having this conversation by the pool on Saturday because, you know, my youngest brother, Cameron, can drink beer with the best of them. I mean, he's one of those super tankers. He can knock out 18, 24, no problem. But he doesn't like drinking when he's eating a meal. He wants a Coke.
Yeah.
Or a Diet Coke.
That's the way I am.
That's the way I am too, yeah.
And that's how you can tell people that really like the taste of alcohol and people that don't.
Yeah.
Like, alcohol to me complements my meal.
Yeah, wine and steak. 100%.
Wine and steak, great, but like an IPA and a burger, I mean, you know, I could go down. I mean, I think you compare a really good beer with a chocolate.
You know what?
Same with wine.
Yeah. Yeah, a weird pet peeve of mine, maybe it's not weird, I don't know, pet peeve of mine is like when you stumble across a video of a pastor that's 150, 200 pounds overweight and he's preaching about people being addicted to alcohol. And I'm like, buddy, have you looked in the mirror?
Yeah.
What about French fries?
Yeah, I don't think you're helping your health either.
What about the tater tots?
Yeah, that is, I mean, you got people that are addicted to porn, French fries. I mean, again, going back to your addictive personality, you can quickly figure something out when a guy is like, I love porn, I like drinking.
Yeah.
Does
anybody
put that on a checklist? I love porn.
I think those.
I'm sure people do.
I've learned to love it.
I think those are easy. I'm just saying, like, I like to go play golf. I play it as much as I can, and if I can't play that day, I'll find a way to hit range balls or chip in my yard. I mean, I'm addicted.
I've got a friend, and you guys know him in Atlanta. His ex-wife is addicted to buying clothes. Like, she's got an entire room with the tags still on, with shoes still in the box.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
She is just addicted to buying things online.
Maggie used to do that. I would go be cleaning up the garage, and I'd find a couple of boxes of shoes that still had the tags on them. I was like, what are these? And she's like,
makes no sense.
I just didn't like them. And I was like, well, let's take them back.
Right.
Yeah, let's take them back. Let's get them out of the garage. Get some cash back.
The Bud Light right now is 34 degrees.
34 degrees on that.
I could see that, yes.
Addictive personalities on the bingo card to start the show off with today.
But like, what is the weirdest thing you could possibly be addicted to?
Like in my life or just in general?
Like in your life.
Well, but I mean, that's what I was going to say is I eat the same exact breakfast. I've said this on the show 6 times a week, and I don't think I'm addicted to that. I just think it has become my routine. I like the taste of it. I'm not a big breakfast person. I just need to eat something for breakfast so I'm not starving by 11 o'clock. I have found I like the taste of what I get, so I just get the same thing every day. It's very, very easy. I pull up their app. I click reorder. It pays automatically. Every 6th or 7th one I get free because I do it every single day. So, I mean, it's just a routine. But am I addicted to that? I don't know. It's just
like
my routine.
When I was a kid, I was addicted to baseball cards. I really was. Like, anytime I would go to a store, I was buying baseball cards. I would get on my bike. I would ride to buy baseball cards. I would walk to a convenience store up this neighborhood hill to get baseball cards. So that was one of my addictions as a kid, but I gave it up pretty easily.
Yeah.
Oh, Lunsford's addicted to Pokemon cards?
Used to be
Lunsford
No,
or now?
still am. You should see my office. It's pretty bad.
How many do you estimate you have?
Oh God, total?
Yeah.
Probably 10 to 15,000.
Oh yeah, you're addicted. Yeah, that's the definition of it. I'm glad you. Hey, the first step's admitting it, Lunsford.
Would you want to buy a couple of thousand for my son?
No, but I'll sell these because they're starting to stack up.
Like, I'm legitimately addicted to the Rams. You guys know that.
Yeah,
like, I mean,
absolutely.
how many of our listeners and viewers are addicted to Alabama, Auburn, Tennessee, Georgia
tons
football?
of them, yeah.
I mean,
Tons of them.
You know, if you spend some part of your day, every single day of your life doing something.
Yep.
Yeah.
You're probably addicted to it.
I'm not addicted to golf because I don't ever go to the driving range or anything. I think I'm addicted to being outside, though. I like to be outside.
Yeah.
this
There's so
time of
many
year.
things you can do outside, though.
There are.
There is.
But you know, I mean,
that's just easy for me.
But the driving range is kind of therapy for me too. I just kind of like to get out there
I
and
can't stand the driving range.
get to myself, work on my game.
I can't
Nobody
putt.
bothers me.
Maybe that's why he's better than you.
Oh
because
yeah,
he
I mean,
goes to
you
the
bet
range.
against me the first 3 holes because I'm not.
Oh, yeah,
warmed
it takes
up.
Jimmy
I
a minute to
suck.
warm up.
I
Yep.
suck the first 3 holes all the time. Our friends at Way to Wellness, if you are addicted to food or maybe your blood pressure or cholesterol is going up, our friends at Way to Wellness will get you jump-started and some weight loss here at the back half of 2024. You can do that by talking to Leslie and her board-certified team. All you have to do is go to their website to get the details on how to contact them. Planforme.com, planforme.com. It's Way to Wellness, no contract, no sign-up fees. And the first consultation, like you're seeing on our video platform there with Leslie and her team, is absolutely free. So you can find out all the details you need to know without coming out of pocket on any money. Weight loss, a different plan for everyone. The Meltdown guys, before they do their show at 2 o'clock today, they'll be partaking in some of the great protein bars like the Caramel Crunch. Melton and Lunsford are using the program right now to extend their show life. You can extend your life, too, with Way to Wellness, your journey to healthy living. It's planforme.com, planforme.com. Way to Wellness, your journey to healthy living. Last night, I had the opportunity to get there. First person I saw said, you don't have the fedora on.
Oh,
and I said, I told
man.
Lance that this is not.
Who was it?
I can't remember his name, but he was one of our listeners. You don't have the fedora on.
Yeah.
And I was like,
Would have been fantastic.
I told Lance, I don't play with Alabama athletics. This is business. It's business for me. But the Tide Tour last night down at the Haven, it was a great crowd. Got a chance to talk with Nate Oates. We'll hear from him in a second.
Is this the first time the basketball coach in Tuscaloosa is more confident than the football coach since Mark Gottfried?
Probably so.
Probably so. But everyone's in love with Kalen DeBoer right now, too. Kalen up there had a chance. Kendrick Law was there. Kobe Prentice. Some great listeners there with E.G. and me.
What color's E.G. wearing?
That looks crimson there, by the way. She looked like it looked pink or salmon when it walked in.
Salmon.
It walked in.
When she walked in, I was like, I thought you were going to wear something a shade of red. And she's like, this is. And then Greg Byrne outed me. I must be colorblind. He comes walking up to us, and he's like, I love that shade of red. And I was like, I thought it was pink.
What, did you tell her to wear a shade of red?
No, she said she was wearing it coming from dinner with you.
Okay. Where'd you stop to get those shoes on the way that are crimson
What
and
are you
white
talking
dunks?
about?
They're crimson and white dunks down the way. You don't own crimson and white dunks. I've never
Oh,
seen
I
you
didn't
wear
see
them.
them.
Yeah.
Do you have crimson
Go
and
back,
white?
Can we go to
Scott.
the
Show us the
pictures?
one with Nate Oates.
I've got crimson and white dunks
You've got
on?
crimson and white dunks on. It's right there in the photo.
Could they have been gifted?
Huh?
Could they have been gifted
By
to me?
whom?
Somebody asked for them yesterday during the show.
Yeah,
No,
you
you
did.
did ask for them yesterday in the show. Where did
But
you
I don't
get
think
them?
anybody was listening, so that means you had to text somebody to ask for them.
Well, I got a Yay Alabama shirt on, too, right?
Well, I mean, I don't care about the shirt. I'm asking those crimson and white dunks as you sit next to Nate Oates. Where did you get those? And at what time yesterday?
I went and bought them yesterday.
Oh, I know you bought them yesterday. Of course he did. How well do you know
go to
this
our
guy?
place downtown?
Yeah, for the show.
Of course he did. For the show.
At least the price point's gone down. What are those now? About $110?
Those right there?
Yeah.
They were $200.
100?
Yeah. After taxes and everything, so about $160.
You know the dunk. I still wear them because I've got them, but you know it jumped the shark last July.
I do.
Who
I
wore
do.
them that made it jump the shark?
Well, I mean, he bought some in
Nashville?
and
Yeah.
then it was over for everyone with the dunks.
But you see, Nate's got some on, too.
He does. Yes. A guy,
and
that
his
gets,
are what we call free.
that gets paid to wear Nike.
Well,
yes, he does.
He brought up my shoes first.
Nate did?
Yeah.
What did he say?
He said, "Oh,
Shoot, Jim.
nice kicks or something." I forget what he said, but he brought them up, and I said, "Well, to the crowd, I was like, I actually did play-by-play for the Indiana State game, and I did the sidelines for the Arkansas game and the SEC tournament game, and all I told them I wanted for payment was some of your dunks, some of your Nike gear."
And they thought I was kidding, but I was being really serious.
And I never got a pair.
Right.
And he's like, "You've been asking the wrong person. You should have asked me. I'd have got you a pair." And
So did you ask him?
well, I think I did right then. I was like,
Did you
pointing
get a
it
pair?
out. I didn't get a pair last night. He didn't have it with me. He had just gotten back from seeing Mark Sears and Jaron Stevenson in Miami.
Okay, so what is the story on Mark Steers?
Yeah, let's listen to Nate Oates.
Oh, does Nate Oates answer
Cut
this?
one. Nate Oates talking to our friends at ABC 3340 because in where we were, it was all off the record stuff.
Okay,
You had to
right.
be
So you can't share any of that on
You
the
had
show.
to be a Yay Alabama member for the Inside Scoop Inside.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Did you not do an event just 2 summers ago where there were not supposed to be any cameras in there?
That camera was supposed to disappear, right? And it didn't.
I mean, who are you, Morgan Wallen? You writing songs? Didn't you just do an event 2 summers ago?
You did.
You got sand in your boots over there too?
That camera was supposed to be gone, though, right?
It was. It was.
It wasn't.
They kept these folks outside.
Yeah, we're not going to do that again.
They kept these folks outside.
Yeah.
And our friends at ABC 3340. And this is Cogden, right?
Johnny
to Nate,
Cogden, yeah.
Johnny Cogden talking to Nate Oates. on where things stand with Mark Sears.
Yeah, I mean, we just kind of met with him, see where he's at. He's got 2 more workouts. He's going to work out for Houston, Milwaukee. We're going to get the feedback. He's going to go right up to the last day because he's got the workout with Milwaukee on the 29th. And, if he doesn't, if the feedback's not guaranteed contract, I think he'd love to come back here and try to win a national championship. But obviously his ultimate goal is to play in the NBA. And if, like we told him, if he gets great feedback that he's going to get a guaranteed contract, we're all happy, and he stays in the draft, and he's already graduated college. He achieves his lifelong goal of playing in the NBA. If we feel like it's more like a two-way, then I think he's going to be back here and try to win a national championship here with him. So he's in a great spot either way, and we're in a great spot too. Take a kid that transferred from Ohio. We're either going to get him back, try to win a national championship, or we're going to help him get to the NBA.
Yeah, pure speculation here. I've said this the whole time. I think Sears is coming back, and I think it's a good move. He gets to know a lot of the front office guys, and I think the conversation next year is, man, we really liked Mark Sears when he was working out for us last year.
We were this close.
Yeah, and I don't think there's any way you can say at 5'10" and change that Mark Sears is going to go in the first round, maybe back half of the second round. Too big of a risk with the money he can make in NIL, the opportunity to come back, have another special season, possibly, as Nate Oates said there, win a national championship. I fully expect Sears to be back.
I mean, I've said this all along. I feel like he can get a two-way deal next year. Why lose this year for a two-way deal this year?
That is guaranteed money this year. Guaranteed.
Yeah, absolutely. And you're probably not going to get that. I mean, I would be stunned if Milwaukee's like, absolutely, you're getting guaranteed money from us.
Boy, and money that can last him the next 5 years.
Yeah, and guarantee two-way deals. Am I right about this? That's you're on the G League, and they call you up when they need you.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, they give you a 10-day.
Yeah, you get a 10-day. And I guess some guys have played that 10-day into a full-time roster spot. But, I mean, again, you're against the odds, and you can always do that next year.
Big man from UAB did that this year. He was on the G League.
That's right.
Here in Birmingham, got called up, and ended up sticking.
Yep. I mean, that happens. But, I mean, again, that can happen for you next year. You don't have to do that this year. To Lance's point, you're going to get paid very nicely to play basketball at Alabama, more than you're going to make in the G League.
The buzz around town is somewhere between $700,000 and $800,000.
Okay.
Yeah. And I just saw somebody in the chat saying there are 0 mocks that have him in now. And I think once he went to 5'10", there were probably franchises out there, maybe he'll measure right at 6 feet. I really don't know why that's such a big deal. But there's a reason, I guess, that nobody in the league is under 6 feet.
It's a big deal with NFL quarterbacks. They almost never go against the grain on that, too.
Keon Ellis just did it, said landmine believer. Bediako signed a two-way after going undrafted, lost it the second he got hurt, and got immediately cut.
Yep.
It's a business up there. But Clowney left after 1 year and eventually worked his way out of the G League to start with the Brooklyn Nets. Nate brought that up last night. Herb Jones named to the all-defensive team last night.
Yeah,
again.
But Herb was NBA ready. I'm not saying Sears isn't. Again, the size is the problem. Bob Sacamano over there seems too risky to try to have a better season than he did in 23-24. I never knew Mark Sears was going to be as good as he was last year.
Yeah, that's right.
I fully expect him to be better next year.
I don't know
I really do.
Yeah, and I don't know that he's got to have a better season. I mean, I don't think NBA scouts are going to get hung up on stats with him.
No, I think as long as he's consistently as good as he was last year.
I think the scouts know what he can do. The issue is his size. This is not an ability issue for him. The ability's fine.
He's not going to grow anymore.
No, and that's been my point all along. Now, worst case, you come back and you get hurt, but there again, you get hurt, you've got $7,000 and probably, or $700,000-ish, and probably an insurance policy. I'm sure if he's got smart people around him, and you've talked to his parents, they seem like very smart people.
Yep.
And I'm sure they got people advising him. You come back, you get the money, you get the insurance policy, and you see what happens next year in the draft.
But I sort of agree with Bob. It's hard to imagine he's going to have a better year.
Oh, I don't know that he will.
Yeah.
But again, I don't know that he has to get in the first round.
I mean,
because he led a team to the Final Four.
Well, I was going to say, like, team achievement. I mean, it's really hard to say Alabama, who's never been to a Final Four, as good as that roster can be if Sears is on it, that they're going to go to back-to-back Final Fours with how difficult it is to get to a Final Four. But I'm just talking about the way he
roster's better next year, though.
Oh, yeah, I
much
agree.
better, yeah.
There's no doubt.
He carried this team to the Final Four.
But, we have seen great teams not make Final Four runs.
Sears averaged 21.5. If he averaged 25 this year, it's not going to get him drafted any higher. The NBA's not going to say, yeah, you know what? He went up 4 points a game.
And I do think the scoring average probably goes down because, as you mentioned, the roster is probably better. I mean, 21.5 points is a lot of points.
It is. He was a 20-point machine.
That's right. Everyone's talking about Hunter and Brody, about Jaren not even in the conversation. Brody, if you sign Jaren Stevenson, you're signing him on potential, on what he's going to become.
Well, and Jaren, I mean, you guys correct me if I'm wrong, he's a nice addition to potentially this Alabama roster. But if he doesn't come back, okay. Like, if Sears doesn't come back, they've still got a chance to be really, really good. But if Sears comes back, that is the piece that can make them a national championship contender. Yeah, I don't think Stevenson's necessarily that guy.
Because technically that's where Grant Nelson's going to play. He's going to be more natural at the 4, and that's where Jaren was, or the 3, and that's where Jaren was.
Yeah, and I fully expect Grant Nelson to be, if Sears comes back, the second best player on that team next year.
How about how much basketball gets talked about around here these days with what Alabama and Auburn and UAB and Samford has been doing? I mean, we're in May. We're 93 days away from football. And it's
basketball
still a big
state, man.
Hey, let me tell you something. Bruce Pearl was at his golf tournament down at Willow Point 2 days ago. And I know some people that played in it, and some behind-the-scenes talk of the schedule when they start announcing games. Like, you've already seen some of the games Alabama has announced, which is a tremendous schedule. And I'll go ahead and tell you, both schools want the same team in the ACC-SEC Challenge. It's going to be interesting to see who they both get, because both of them want the same team, and I think both of them are willing to travel to that team to play that team.
Wait, is that Duke?
It would be.
Yeah. I'd take
That's going to be preseason number 1 Duke.
Yeah, and I think either team is willing to say, hey, we will go to Cameron Indoor. I'm not saying we want to play Duke, but we want to play them at Tuscaloosa or Auburn. We'll go to Cameron Indoor.
Why would you not, though?
We're happy to go to Cameron Indoor.
I mean, for your fan bases, you're expected to lose. It's what you call one of those quality losses.
Yep.
It's going to help analytically.
Yeah.
Why not?
So I'm just saying, if some of these Auburn basketball games that they're talking about come to fruition, the state basketball schedule, Alabama and Auburn, the pre-conference that they play is going to be incredible for those two schools. And good. I'm glad.
I really think it's going to be Alabama and Duke, though.
I do, too. I would agree with you.
I mean, I don't know. You've seen Alabama, North Carolina 2 straight years now. It's not like you haven't seen Alabama play North Carolina.
I think because Duke is going to be your preseason 1 more than likely.
And Alabama's going to be
in top 5 100%. And Alabama's coming off Final Four. I think it's going to be Bama. I do.
And maybe so. I will say, like Kentucky and North Carolina have played a lot too. That is not, I mean, that's 2 blue bloods, but boy, I get that a lot. I feel like Kentucky and North Carolina. I've seen plenty of that. So I'm just curious what they do with Kentucky in this situation with Mark Pope in his first year, Cal now at Arkansas. Kentucky's still a massive TV draw, tons of people wherever they go. But are you going to pair them up with Duke or Kentucky? I mean, Duke or North Carolina? We've seen that. They already play Louisville, right? So that's another ACC. So I don't know what they do with Kentucky. I think that factors into a lot of this because that's good TV numbers. I mean, I've seen a lot of Kentucky, Duke, Kentucky, North Carolina. It's still going to draw TV numbers, and that's ultimately what this is about.
Yeah.
I mean, who else?
I'm trying to think of the next. NC State's coming off a Final Four.
Yep.
I don't think they're going to be that good again. I don't think they were that good last year.
They weren't good in the regular season.
And you got to factor in Arkansas now, who's got Calipari. That's a
right.
TV draw.
I mean, it is.
You got to also factor in SMU's in the league. That's a pretty good little basketball team.
I mean, that Alabama-Clemson game was good last year. Clemson was like NC State. They weren't good in the regular season.
Yeah, but it turned out to be an Elite Eight game that got played in the pre-conference.
Yeah, Clemson was an Elite Eight team.
Alabama and Clemson played in the Elite Eight.
But Alabama and Clemson played last year, and Auburn and Clemson is like playing each other. Just Auburn with the
But I'm just saying, once you get past Duke, North Carolina, and the history of Louisville's program is way down right now. Pat Kelsey trying to get that back. But once you get past those 3, who really excites you from the ACC? If you're an Alabama or Auburn fan and that team shows up on your schedule,
Pitt sometimes when they're really good. It's been a while.
Yeah,
I mean, Virginia is just such a terrible product to watch.
It is, but it's
I shouldn't say product, style, terrible style.
Yeah.
I feel like Georgia Tech's about to uptick. I don't know how good.
I have no idea.
Miami was really good for a while.
But that ain't going to excite me.
Florida State was really good for a little bit.
You see my point, that once you get past Duke, North Carolina, and sometimes Louisville, There's nothing that's going to just get you excited. You're just part of the ACC-SEC Challenge then.
Yeah.
And I'm sure the ACC folks doing their shows are saying the same thing. Once you get past Kentucky and Arkansas, I know Alabama went to the Final Four. People are going to get excited about Alabama coming in.
Yeah.
I'm sure they say the same thing.
Hunter says, wouldn't it make sense for an Alabama-North Carolina rematch? Wouldn't hurt. Wouldn't be bad, especially if they had to travel to Alabama or Auburn. Mm-hmm.
Technically, last year was the rematch. Alabama's 2-2 or 2-0 in the last two.
Roger says Alabama or Tennessee slated for Duke. See, we even forgot to even mention Tennessee.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
Do you remember when Carolina in the early 90s, 90, 91, did home and home?
With Alabama?
Dean Smith and Wimp Sanders.
Yeah, that was because
you remember his name?
Pete Chilcutt.
Pete Chilcutt.
Yeah, that was
from Utah, Alabama.
That was a Dean Smith tradition.
I loved it.
Yeah, take the kids back close to their hometown when they were a senior.
Actually came up on our trip, golf trip this weekend, because you drove right
Went
through Utah,
Utah,
Alabama to get to Philadelphia, Mississippi.
Did y'all stop at the Green Track? Is Green Track still open?
I did not stop at Green Track. I don't know if it's still open or not. Commercial free today, Lunsford? Do we need to take breaks? Part of the show today being brought to you by our friends at HydroLive. HydroLive LT, tell us about HydroLive, and then Brownie will swing around and tell us about JohnsonRVCenter.com as well as we get rolling today. Brandon Marcello joins the show at 11 o'clock if we take commercial breaks. If not, he may be with us earlier.
IV therapy, B12 injections, cryotherapy, compression therapy, all under one roof. That's what you get. Turnkey at HydroLife Therapy. Members rewarded with deep discounts, save up to 50% off regular pricing for all services, plus receive one free IV bag per month. With the impressive savings and benefits members receive, you recoup the IV membership fees in just one visit. HydroLife Therapy, open daily 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Two great locations for you. One in Homewood, one in Greystone, Highway 119. For more information, HydroLifeTherapy.com. Boost your immune system with our friends at HydroLife Therapy. And when you're in one of those couple of locations, make sure you mention the next round. 20% off any of the services from our friends at HydroLife Therapy.
And just off I-65, exit 304 in Coleman, 334 in Decatur, you find Johnston RV Center. You're repricing both those lots. They are so confident in the pricing on those lots. They are giving you a nationwide guarantee. They'll beat any price on a comparable RV. Bring them that price, and they will beat it. Also, they cover everything that is new and qualifying used with that lifetime warranty from RV Warranty Forever. See it for yourself. I-65, exit 304 in Coleman, 334 in Decatur, the number one RV company in Alabama in the month of March. Last month we have records for JohnstonRVCenter.com.
Follow Rockstar on Twitter at RockstarBHM.
There is no better place to watch your favorite sporting events and enjoy great food than one of the three great Birmingham locations of Walk-Ons. The TVs are everywhere with your favorite sports, and the menu is second to none. From the great appetizers like the waffle cheese fries to the Avery Island salad, handhelds like the all-new chicken bomber, bistro specialties with a special taste of the Bayou, the amazing hand-patty burgers, the great po' boys, and the specialty drinks. Visit any of the three great Birmingham locations of Walk-Ons: Greystone, Stadium Trace and Hoover, and the brand new location in Trussville.
Hey, Lance Taylor from the next round to tell you about my friends at Michelson Laser Vision, located conveniently UAB Highlands. Almost 20 years ago, I went in for the procedure. Only took 12 minutes for both eyes. When I went in, I had 20/200 vision. I was legally blind. Now I have 20/15 vision, still 19 years later. Make the call today. Schedule a hassle-free consultation. 969-8100. Dr. Mark Michelson, Dr. Jen Michelson, Michelson Laser Vision. Make sure you tell them the next round sent you. 969-8100 or MichelsonLaserVision.com.
Golf season is here, and if you're looking for a great golf course with affordable rates, you need to check out the newly renovated Woodward Golf Club. Woodward Golf Club is a semi-private club with membership opportunities available, but is also open to the public. You can book tee times online at this hidden gem by going to golfwoodward.com. For only $195 per month, you can enjoy unlimited golf 7 days a week. Membership includes discounted cart fees, unlimited range balls, and the use of our practice facilities. For more information on memberships and the course, check us out online at golfwoodward.com.
Every day, someone is ridiculed and mocked for the clothing they chose to wear. It's a harsh reality we all must face. But you have the chance to change all of that with one visit to nextround.store. For just a few minutes of browsing, you will observe so many clothing options, from hats to hoodies to t-shirts. Please, for yourself or someone you love, go to nextround.store and embrace the warmth of true attire.
Hey, you. Summer's here. Time to get hot. And at New Balance Birmingham, that's just what we got. For a summertime vibe, see what's inside. Come together at New Balance Birmingham on Highway 280, right next to Chick-fil-A. New Balance Birmingham, we got now.
Golf season is here, and if you're looking for a great golf course with affordable rates, you need to check out the newly renovated Woodward Golf Club. Woodward Golf Club is a semi-private club with membership opportunities available, but is also open to the public. You can book tee times online at this hidden gem by going to golfwoodward.com. For only $195 per month, you can enjoy unlimited golf 7 days a week. Membership includes discounted cart fees, unlimited range balls, and the use of our practice facilities. For more information on memberships and the course, check us out online at golfwoodward.com.
It's July 4th when we do all the eating competitions, not Memorial Day, right?
It is July 4th.
The Nathan's hot dog.
Nathan's hot dogs. Kobayashi officially retired.
Oh, damn.
Man, that's
Seriously?
unfortunate.
Six-time champion.
First, they retire that competition.
First ballot Hall of Famer?
Oh, yes.
I saw
in that sport.
Is it a documentary or did I just see an interview somewhere where he says, it was in that gut health documentary that's on Netflix. I watched one episode. I didn't watch the rest of them because it was boring. But Kobayashi was being interviewed in that, and he talked about how he believes he has ruined his digestive tract.
Really? So eating that amount of food has screwed him up? Yeah, that's
that he struggles with normal activities.
Speaking of
like
eating,
he can't go.
Yeah.
Saw another documentary. I'm going to go on and say this on the record, and people are going to tell me that I'm one of those people that sits there and pickets with a sign. I will never go to SeaWorld again. I watched the documentary Blackfish.
Yep.
On what was the Attila? What was the name of the killer whale?
Scott got it. Go for it.
I think it was Tillicum.
Yeah, Tillicum.
Yep. Yeah, I wouldn't watch that. No, thank you.
Oh my gosh, it is the most depressing thing. It's the orca that killed the trainer at SeaWorld.
All right.
But he killed like 3 or 4 different people.
Yeah.
But how dangerous they are because of how they treat the whales. It's a great documentary. It's just really depressing.
Yeah. I've never really desired to go to SeaWorld. That's just never cranked my tractor, man. Because when I'm down in Orlando, I'm all Disney. If I went somewhere other than Disney, it'd be Universal Studios.
Discovery Cove's where you need to go.
You've told me that. Yeah. But every time I've been to Disney, it's been cold weather. I don't think you can do that in cold weather, can you?
No, you can. Yeah. I did it in cold weather.
Oh, really?
They put you in wetsuits.
Oh, okay.
And the water's heated.
Oh, well, there you go. I didn't know that.
It's Disney, man. The water's heated. Come on. All right. So Brandon Marcello at 11 o'clock. We'll talk to Brandon about a variety of things that are going on. But see, do I want to get to this? Yeah, I'll get to it here.
All right.
There's a coach that may be in trouble by just a little leakage that is coming out of Happy Valley these days. I was talking to Brown about it earlier.
Yeah, this is interesting, Lance. I had not seen this.
It's a lawsuit now from a former player who basically says he was misdiagnosed, mistreated by what was going on there at Penn State. But James Franklin is being questioned now by 2 former Penn State doctors in this lawsuit from a former player. Franklin not named in the lawsuit, but it is a situation where James Franklin is being painted now as a guy who would try to interfere with team doctors and trainers on whether or not you should be cleared to play or not. Like starters, the trainers and the team doctors, like he's not eligible, he's out. And Franklin would try to force you, the doctor, to change your diagnosis to clear you to play in a big game coming up. And we get angry with the doctors. This is on testimony in this lawsuit. PennLive.com's got the story. We get angry with the doctors when they would say, no, he's out. We're not changing the diagnosis. He would get physically angry. They said sometimes it was like going to the principal's office, the way he would treat us as the team doctors. And there's one case that PennLive.com quotes of a player who was suicidal, and players kept, talking him off from killing himself, that James Franklin wanted to cut from the team to free up the scholarship. And the doctors testified about that too. Brown's got a long-standing, and I agree with Brown on this. I don't know who came up with it first, but we've discussed it for years, that when they start to lay the groundwork for you to get kicked out the door, little things like this start to leak out from the program.
What gets in the press.
I agree. This is how you get rid of somebody with calls, and you don't have to pay that buyout. We were talking about this with the coach yesterday. I forgot who it was. The thing I would say about James Franklin,
it was Billy Napier.
Billy Napier
on this other lawsuit.
This probably happens with other coaches arguing with doctors. I think he's fine. This guy needs to play. I don't think this is a first. I do find it interesting it's leaking out right now, but if you're Penn State, to me, James Franklin is a good coach. He's not a great coach.
I would agree with you.
But what's Penn State going to get right now? You look outside of the 2020 season, he's been good. He's been a solid B.
In 2020, that's the COVID year. I don't even hold that
Everybody
against
was bad.
That was a
Harbaugh
4-5.
was bad.
That was a 4-5. I never hold that against a coach, what happened to the COVID season, nor do I discredit what Alabama did in that season because it was the COVID season. He's a complicated guy, James Franklin. I'm going to exclude the COVID season. So here you go, Dunaway. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 seasons excluding the COVID season at Penn State. How many of those 9 do you think are double-digit seasons?
I'm going to say over half. I'm going to say 5.
He's right.
Yeah.
5 out of 4. 5 and 4. 5 out of 9. The other one is a 9 win, and he's got 3 7 wins.
Yeah, a lot of them are just losses to Ohio State and Michigan, right?
There's a lot of those.
Right?
Yeah, there are
they were
a
in
lot
the same
of those.
division.
Yeah, they were in the same division all those years, and he couldn't beat those teams.
Is this fair to say Penn State is the Auburn Tigers of the Big Ten?
In what way? Sell me on that one.
I'm just talking about kind of the expectations year in, year out for the program. And the only reason I bring that up is if Hugh Freeze has those type of numbers, is Hugh Freeze around as long as James Franklin?
Well, Franklin's on this is year 11 for him. So that's a good run in college football.
Because Malzahn kind of had those numbers, didn't he?
Malzahn didn't have this number of he's had 4-11 win seasons. I don't think Malzahn had that. And then a 10-win season to add to it. He's 88-39 overall, 56-32 in conference. That's okay to me. I'm with Lance. He's good. He's not great. But there again, if Penn State said, you know what, we are tired of being good, not great, who's Penn State going to hire?
I don't know. That's the problem.
And can that guy get them good, great, not good? They just announced yesterday a massive stadium deal.
$700,000 to renovate Beaver Stadium.
$700 million, right?
$700 million to renovate Beaver Stadium. That's almost $1 billion, just over $1 billion to build SoFi.
I know.
So they're renovating at $700 million.
SoFi was $3 billion.
$3 billion, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But still.
Yeah. Seems like $1.2 billion I could build a stadium.
Well,
it's $700 million to renovate that place. It's a beautiful, when it's full, it's beautiful. But I told you when I was there, it's an erector set. Then I learned yesterday when I heard some people talking about this. Here's the new look Beaver Stadium.
It does look good. Scott showed us a very nice looking photo of Beaver Stadium.
But I guess they're just covering up the inside.
They're covering up the erector set.
Yeah, it really was an erector set, Brown.
The engineering school built it.
The stadium was built somewhere else.
Oh, really?
And then broken apart and rebuilt at this site.
Are you serious?
If what I heard yesterday was correct, if you guys are Florida or Penn State fans, let me know.
Scott says it is hideous in person. So Scott was up there for 2011 Bama Penn State.
Yeah, Forrester, you're exactly right. Right?
That place is it feels ancient and it's just ugly. It's an ugly stadium.
Yeah, Dunaway told me that. I used to say I like Beaver Stadium. It's a good looking stadium. Dunaway's like, Brown, it's awful on the outside. It looks like you've said for years it's an erector set stadium.
And so if they're putting all that on the outside, and remember they don't have any outsides. That's why they have to keep the pipes, no water in it during cold weather. They have to basically turn off the water for the stadium so the pipes don't burst. They pump all the water out of the pipes.
Right, and that was one thing they were talking about with the college football playoffs that might be complicated playing a game that late in the year at Beaver Stadium.
Yeah, because of that.
The pipes are exposed.
I guess this was insulated a little bit. But somebody, Lunsford, check the history of Beaver Stadium.
I'm pulling it up.
Boy, I've heard it is a pain in the ass to get to Beaver Stadium, too.
Like it was built somewhere else, and then like in the 60s, was broken apart piece by piece and then moved over to its current location, which makes no sense at all to me.
Yeah, it's going to take me a minute to read through this. But
back
no, here it is. Okay, you're partially correct, all right. They built it on a different site to use it there. They weren't just like, let's build it and then move it. They were going to use it there, and they determined we need more land, so they dismantled where they initially built it and moved it to its current spot. Okay. So in a sense, it is an erector set, yeah.
So they were building it at one place and said, man, we don't have enough land here.
Yeah. And
we can't play with 88 yards.
They actually played games there and decided, let's move it over here. So they tore it down. They moved it. At the time, it was only 30,000 seats, though. So it was a very small move, not anywhere close to what it is now. But, this day and age, this is what jumped out at me about that story. And I know this is not where you started with James Franklin. But this is what jumped out at me. This day and age, a school spending $700 million on a stadium puzzles me. Like, I know you've fallen behind a little bit, but, man, money is about to be tight in college football, and it's about to have to go to your roster. And spending $700 million on a stadium seems like a luxury right now.
Yeah. I mean, if that's your stadium, that's your stadium. I mean,
embrace
it's not
great.
Embrace it. As long as it's not going to fall down.
Yeah, I mean, we've talked about it before. As much as fans love the stadiums and you pay a lot of money for season tickets, the athletes are more about, your everyday facility.
That's right.
They like the football complex.
People talk about building a new basketball arena, and maybe that gets built someday in Tuscaloosa. But we've come to learn, what does Nate Oates want?
He wants his own dedicated practice facility that is only men's basketball, and that's all that ever goes in there.
And he wants NIL money.
NIL money.
Did
he get asked about the Coliseum last night?
He did not.
Yeah.
Alabama fans have learned. NIL money. That's all he wants. So you can build a roster, man.
Well, I mean, if they're laying the groundwork on Franklin, that is interesting. I mean, this is a serious allegation, whether or not it's just groundwork or not. I mean,
PennLive.com, John Lucia writes the story. Second Penn State football doctor details Franklin's medical meddling, including player who tried suicide, and talking about how Franklin and the athletic director at the time, Sandy Barber, according to the report at PennLive.com, wanted that player dismissed from the team to free up the scholarship, which seems pretty cold-blooded.
So a guy's suicidal, and they're like, can we just medically dismiss him so we can have the scholarship? Because he can't play.
Okay, but let me play devil's advocate on the other side. There's a chance this guy and Franklin are sideways.
There's no doubt.
Talking about the doctor.
Yep.
And
the player.
And if Franklin said, hey, look, this guy doesn't need to be playing football right now with his mental state. We need to get him some help. This story could get twisted a little bit. I'm just playing the other side of it.
No, you're right. 100%. You're absolutely right. Yeah.
Because I find it hard to believe. I mean, what kind of cold, calculated coach, if a kid is in the deepest despair of his life, is going to say, you know what, let's get rid of him for a scholarship? But sounds a little much.
But I will also say, with Penn State's history, stories like this, they can't just say, that didn't happen.
Can't ignore it at all.
With their history, you've got to do a deep dive investigation on this one.
This is from the second doctor that's testified. Coach was trying to get us to release the athlete for return to play in a road game as we met at the team hotel. We were being pressured to release the athlete. He was a starter. They needed him for the game. There was a discussion. Coach was trying to influence medical decisions. Ultimately, me and Dr. Lynch, this is Dr. Seidenberg, testifying on trial, and the player was not cleared for the spring game. Franklin was angry. He was angry over our decision. He banged the conference table, got up, and went behind his desk. Meeting was over.
For the spring game?
No. For a road game.
Oh, I thought you said for the spring game.
No.
Okay.
I apologize.
I was about to say, if it was over a guy being out for the spring game.
Yeah. That's
it was a road game, all right.
Yeah, road game there on the road with Penn State.
I don't know, man. I guess that story bears watching, but you do start to wonder when you see things that leak out in the media, what does it play there? What is the end game of that? And this is obviously testimony in a trial, so this is not necessarily like something just a booster leak.
Roll Payne brings up a good point. Franklin also has a Vandy rape issue. That was on his watch, too.
Yep.
I don't remember that, but I
yeah.
remember the case.
There were some issues there. Yeah.
Our show being brought to you by our friends at New York Butcher Shop. Tell us about New York Butcher. One more thing in this segment. We'll do our 40 and 40 team coming up in our next segment.
Okay, so Memorial Day is this week, and a lot of people are forgetting that. There are some great things going on right now at the New York Butcher Shop. You can get their ground beef 80-20 blend of certified Angus prime beef filet, ribeye New York strip brisket, and chuck. It doesn't get any better than that. How about Memorial Day ribs? You're having a big party Friday, Saturday, May 26th to 27th. They've got the baby back ribs, $5.99 a pound. St. Louis spares, $5.99 a pound. They'll smoke them. You get slab spares, $28.99 each. Slab baby backs, $29.99 each. Reservations are suggested. Should be ordered by tomorrow, the 25th. All you got to do is write these numbers down. You hadn't figured out your plans yet for Memorial Day? Make it the New York Butcher Shop Memorial Day ribs. You're going to love them from Jim and the guys. Greystone location, 205-703-8825. The original in Cabo Heights, 205-970-7300. New York Butcher Shop, rare quality, well done service.
Right now, LSU, who is the defending national champs, red hot, trying to play their way likely in the NCAA tournament anyway, but trying to secure a better spot in the NCAA tournament with a run in Hoover, leads Kentucky 1-0 in the morning game of 4 more out there at the Hoover Met for the SEC baseball tournament. Last night in the NBA, Indiana had their shot. Here's the sequence. Indiana gets a stop. So they got the ball up 3 with 34 seconds to play. The ball and up 3.
Nothing went right from that point on.
They turn it over with 27 seconds left. Then they get another stop with 12 seconds left, up 3 still. Then they turn it over with 8.5 seconds left. They don't foul, and they hit a 3. Boston does with 5.7 to tie it. They go to overtime, and Boston wins the game.
Yeah, I'll tell you this. So they had their opportunity to steal game 1. It was a fantastic game. We said this yesterday. If you like offense, you're going to love this series. I mean, you had 261 points scored in overtime yesterday. But, okay, first of all, the turnovers. When you got Halliburton, who is one of the best point guards in the league, when he has got an unforced turnover with 27 seconds left, that was huge. The inbounds was just a terrible.
You got to call a timeout.
Got to call a timeout, reset it. I agree with you.
That's Carlisle there, and is Carlisle not fouling on a three-pointer?
But the analyst said multiple times Carlisle probably will not foul here, and he gave 2 other times in the playoffs where Carlisle chose not to foul, and it had worked once and didn't work the other time.
Yeah, Pascal Siakam said, I was going to foul. The thing is, Jaylen Brown didn't have a good look. I mean, that was the degree of difficulty on that shot. That was an incredible make by Brown.
By the way, I didn't think he left him room to land. I thought it maybe should have been a foul after he shot it.
But, the fact of the matter is the second most turnovers for the Pacers in a game this year with 21, 11 steals from the Celtics. Pacers shot 54%. I didn't think this would be much of a series, but when you go back and you look at the regular season series between the two, Boston won at 3-2. But Boston has troubles with teams that can score points. So now in the postseason, they're 2-2 against teams that have scored 100+. Pacers going to score 100+ in every one of these games. I think this series could go a little deeper than people believe if Indiana can bounce back mentally from what happened in Game 1, because they gave that one away.
They gave it away 2 different times in the final 34 seconds and then in overtime. Game 1 tonight in the West. Dallas and Minnesota, 7:30 on TNT. Barkley told Anthony Edwards, "It's been 20 years, man, since I've been to Minnesota." And Ant Edwards replied, "Bring your ass here." Which is
Bring
now,
your ass is exactly what he said.
Which is
Think
now.
he's ever DM'd that to somebody?
There's a guy that is a big Timberwolves fan and a business season ticket holder. He went and got bringyass.com and it has it linked to the Minnesota tourism situation.
Funny.
And he says, I'm willing to give it to Anthony Edwards or to the state of Minnesota. We're looking to make money. But he went and got the domain for bringyass.com.
I know you've been. It is a beautiful town. It's great people.
Well, that's what I was going to say. Barkley was there. I partied with Barkley. He's been to Minnesota
the Final Four.
when Auburn was in the Final Four.
He just forgets. He goes so many different places.
I guess he haven't been there for a Timberwolves
Probably.
game.
Yeah. Well, they haven't won a major championship. They haven't even been in a finals of a championship since the Twins beat the Braves in 1991. You think about how long ago that was.
Are you serious? That's the last time.
So no Vikings, no.
The Vikings haven't been to a Super Bowl.
Since I was a
forever.
kid.
The T-Wolves, furthest they've gotten was in 2004 to the Western Conference Finals. You look at the North Stars, who are now the Dallas Stars, who are in a Western Conference Finals, but they've been out of Minnesota. I guess the Wild is back there, but they haven't been there.
I will say the Vikings had the best team in the NFL one year, and how the Falcons went in and won that game is remarkable.
Missed kick, right?
Well, it was a missed kick, but I mean the Falcons had to be in position to win the game with that missed kick. I mean, Atlanta had played a great game.
It's going to come down. It's as simple as this. The way Ann is playing right now, the way Karl Anthony Towns are playing. Rudy Gobert, how good defensively Minnesota is. Luka's just going to have to be special. And Luka does have 3 consecutive triple-doubles he's coming off of right now.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be a fantastic series. I really do.
Dallas and Minnesota, game 1 tonight, 7:30 on TNT. And you never know, maybe the last run for the show we love so much inside the NBA.
That's the reports.
With Barkley. And
Bill Simmons is saying they've already got a deal done. They're just being courteous to TNT because they got games left.
Yeah. All right. When we come back, our 40 and 40 team today, and we'll see who that is. All of you voted. It's brought to you by our friends at MyBookie. We'll get to that on the other side. Gutter Cap bringing you part of the show as well. Man, this time of year when it starts raining, you want to make sure you find out really quick whether you got a clogged gutter or not, because we get some gully washers out there, don't we?
I saw somebody in our chat room saying, every time I get on the roof, I think of LT's spot with Gutter Cap and slipping and falling and snapping the neck and die. Look, it happens. Have a little fun with that spot, cap it, don't snap it, but it really is the last thing you want to do. And if you get your gutters capped, that aluminum panel system, it will keep all debris out. You'll never have to clean the gutters again. Think about that. You'll never have to get that dangerous ladder out again and get on that roof. Call 205-823-2212. Right now, 45% off the retail price. Call Chris Stewart. Tell him the next round sent you. Ask about that free estimate. He will come out. He'll let you know exactly what you need. 205-823-2212 or guttercapbirmingham.com.
Follow Scott Forrester on Twitter at Scott Forrester TV.
Hey, Lance Taylor from the Next Round to tell you about one of our favorite places for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. That is Hamburger Heaven since 1982. Hamburger Heaven has been serving Birmingham's best hamburgers, cheeseburgers, French fries, hand-spun milkshakes, and sandwiches made fresh to order. All of their ingredients are fresh and prepared daily. This includes their beef, always fresh, never frozen, hand-pattied each and every day. For breakfast, lunch, or dinner, visit any of the 4 locations, Highway 280, Irondale, Gardendale, and Homewood.
Hey, you. Summer's here. Time to get hot. And at New Balance Birmingham, that's just what we got. For a summertime vibe, see what's inside. Come together at New Balance Birmingham on Highway 280, right next to Chick-fil-A. New Balance Birmingham, we got now.
Follow Next Round Live on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. The social media team at Next Round Live is dedicated to giving you daily news conferences and practice video from UAB, Alabama, Auburn, and around college football. Follow and compare to the sites you used to visit. You'll also get the latest highlights and news from the Next Round Daily Show. Turn on the notifications so you don't miss a thing. Next Round Live on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. See more at nextroundlive.com.
Hey, Lance Taylor from the Next Round to tell you about my friends at Michelson Laser Vision, located conveniently UAB Highlands. Almost 20 years ago, I went in for the procedure. Only took 12 minutes for both eyes. When I went in, I had 20/200 vision. I was legally blind. Now I have 20/15 vision, still 19 years later. Make the call today. Schedule a hassle-free consultation. 969-8100. Dr. Mark Michelson, Dr. Jen Michelson, Michelson Laser Vision. Make sure you tell them the Next Round sent you. 969-8100 or MichelsonLaserVision.com.
Golf season is here, and if you're looking for a great golf course with affordable rates, you need to check out the newly renovated Woodward Golf Club. Woodward Golf Club is a semi-private club with membership opportunities available, but is also open to the public. You can book tee times online at this hidden gem by going to golfwoodward.com. For only $195 per month, you can enjoy unlimited golf 7 days a week. Membership includes discounted cart fees, unlimited range balls, and the use of our practice facilities. For more information on memberships and the course, check us out online at golfwoodward.com.
Every day, someone is ridiculed and mocked for the clothing they chose to wear. It's a harsh reality we all must face. But you have the chance to change all of that with one visit to nextround.store. For just a few minutes of browsing, you will observe so many clothing options, from hats to hoodies to t-shirts. Please, for yourself or someone you love, go to nextround.store and embrace the warmth of true attire.
$40 and 40 in just a second. Our Dr. B changeover of the day in just a second comes to you from Lucas Oil Field in Indianapolis. Tell us about Dr. B, and we'll show you a bigger changeover at Lucas Oil Stadium than your hair was from Dr. B.
Yeah, best in the business, my man, Dr. B. I did that non-invasive treatment last night, 30 minutes each night, 3 nights a week. That's all I'm doing right now on the couch, watching Eastern Conference Finals last night, Game 1. That's all I'm doing, and my hair has more than doubled in thickness. When I started to thin out, I asked around. Dr. Beckenstein is the guy everyone said you need to go see for more than 20 years. Women and men have turned to Dr. B for a range of cosmetic and reconstructive procedures. He will use that experience, his advanced training, and genetic testing to help his patients fully understand the procedures they are considering. Call Dr. Beckenstein today. Tell his staff the Next Round sent you. Ask about that consultation. 205-319-0316 or t3hair.net.
So, Brown, what do you think you're going to put in Lucas Oil Stadium this time of year in Indianapolis? Where the Colts play.
Concerts, yeah. I know George Strait and Chris Stapleton are doing one soon. Thought about going.
Yeah, we've seen
date didn't work for me.
We've seen a Final Four there. We've seen a Super Bowl there, right? We've seen a national championship game.
Probably do monster trucks.
Yeah, monster truck. How about this?
What is that?
That is a swimming pool, an Olympic-sized swimming pool. We're about to have our U.S. swim trials to see who's going to go to Paris to represent the good old U.S. of A. And Rowdy Gaines, Alabama native, Auburn grad, not Alabama native, but Auburn grad.
Yep.
Rowdy Gaines says, get set for history in a football stadium. # swim trials 24 at Lucas Oil in Indy. That's in the middle of the football stadium. They're going to set record crowds for the U.S. swimming trials coming up.
Now, I don't know anything really about the sport or the participants, but it is one of the few things I actually can enjoy watching in the Summer Olympics. I do enjoy watching the swimming.
I got into it in London when Phelps was just racking up those golds.
Yeah.
By the way, possibility Michael Phelps will be on some of our mental podcasts coming up.
Oh, wow. But
they're really good.
Working on that right now.
He's really big into golf right now.
Yeah.
And I think
golf's therapy for him.
I use one of his stretches before I get on the tee box now.
I bet he does it better. What stretch?
You stand on one leg and you stand on one leg and you go out.
Does that get you the swimmer's body you've always wanted?
You cannot tell. You can't tell.
I was going to tell you do need to start swimming for your back. Yeah. I think it will. It's obviously zero
problem
impact.
What's the problem with that, Lance?
You got a pool?
You've got a pool.
The problem with that, Lance, is I can't swim.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, I forgot about that. It's not the pool.
I don't think it's ever too late to learn how to swim, though.
Yeah, it's harder older you get. It's time for our 40 and 40. It's brought to you by our friends at MyBookie, mybookie.ag. Before we unveil the team, tell us about MyBookie, Brownie.
I will. Perhaps you've been there in life, got that trip to the casino planned, and everything falls apart at the last minute. Well, it doesn't when you use MyBookie's online casino. You can dive into truly realistic casino experiences, the latest in slots, progressive jackpots, live dealer action, all for the comfort of your own home. The MyBookie Casino, a Las Vegas experience in your home, and you don't even have to wear pants. The action is in your hands. Start at MyBookie today, mybookie.ag. Use code NEXTROUND for a generous sign-up bonus. And they've got a revamped loyalty program, a host of VIP perks, all of that right there at mybookie.ag, code NEXTROUND. MyBookie.ag, code next round.
All right, here's our team today at number 35, UCF. Gus Malzahn's team coming in at number 35. I actually do believe this is a top 40 team with Gus Malzahn, but a big year down there. And he's hit the portal again, bringing in some former Auburn talent, former SEC talent to sort of fill the holes there. Question is, what's going to happen at quarterback?
Yeah, well, I think KJ Jefferson is going to be your guy. I mean, look, he had some really big moments at Arkansas. John Reese Plumlee, I thought was really, really good. Can KJ Jefferson be better? Possibly. The thing for Gus Malzahn is he's trending in the wrong direction. 9-4 to 9-5 to 6-7 in the first year in the Big 12. This is one of those programs. It's hard to believe they played their first FBS game back in '96. Do you guys even remember them being part of the MAC, joining the MAC?
I really don't.
In 2002.
I do not.
I don't.
Yeah, they left for CUSA in 2005, but they've got good skill. R.J. Harvey, one of the better running backs in the Big 12. Kobe Hudson's a receiver that everybody around here knows about. Yes. They're probably going to start 4-0. I think they beat TCU in Fort Worth. I think they beat Colorado at home.
And then you got a chance at a big, it's not a great Florida team, but that win is going to go a long way if you're a UCF fan or alum.
We talk about swing games.
Yeah.
To me, almost every swing game once you get to TCU is a swing game. Like they could win all these, they could lose all of them. So I could see them go 10-2. I could see them go 5-7.
Yeah, but the big joke always with Gus is he's going to end up going what?
9-4.
I mean, that's been the last 3 years. He's lost at least 4 games.
Yeah, he's going to find 4 losses, and he's probably going to beat the team he shouldn't beat. And that's just the way that's life with Gus Malzahn as a head coach of your program. You're going to lose to teams you're not supposed to lose to, and you're probably going to beat some teams you're not supposed to beat, and you're generally going to find your way to 4 losses.
I can't figure out this team.
I really can't either.
They're about an 8-win team, and I think we got them about right.
Yeah. Does KJ Jefferson fit Gus Malzahn's style? I think he does.
I think he does.
Yeah. A big, thick runner. I mean, probably the biggest. I mean, well, I was going to say since Cam, but he had Jeremy Johnson too.
Obviously has more speed, but you've got more of the physicality when it comes to KJ, and I think KJ is actually a better passer than Plumlee was.
Did it look like at times last year he was a reluctant runner, like KJ was trying to run less?
Maybe so. He still had that run in the Alabama game that Nick Saban described as one of the most impressive plays he's ever seen.
That's right.
And
he shook off the sack guy.
Yeah, he was throwing guys off of him, big guys off of him. He may be a reluctant runner, but he's a tough runner. I think that's an interesting matchup with KJ Jefferson in that offense.
Daniel says if Gus beats Florida, he gets that job.
Oh, I don't think so. I don't think Florida would hire Gus Malzahn. No. I mean, first of all, Gus's age. How old is Gus? And he's let his hair.
Gus is probably 61.
And he's let his hair go gray down there, so that makes him look older. He's quit coloring his hair. He is 58.
Yeah, I thought Gus was older. 3-year window.
But there's no way they'd hire Gus.
Yeah, I mean, I would rather, if I'm a Florida fan, I would rather roll the dice and keep Billy Napier around, even coming off maybe a 3-9, 4-8 this year.
Yeah. Landmine Believer says if Florida makes a move, they're going to hire the USF coach, his offensive mind, and
Alex Golesh,
what he did at Tennessee. All right, so there you go. That's our 40-40 team today. It is UCF. So far we've given you Houston, James Madison, Virginia Tech, Tulane, BYU, and UCF. We continue our countdown. One team every live show all the way up until the Friday before SEC Media Days. That's how we count it down here, brought to you by our friends at MyBookie.
Don't forget that casino experience at MyBookie and play any of the games we talk about on the show. Bet anything, anytime, anywhere. MyBookie.ag, code next round to get that sign-on bonus. When you go to MyBookie.ag, make sure you use code next round. You can scan it right up in the corner. If you're watching us, the QR code right there takes you right to MyBookie.ag, code next round.
Another LSU home run. They lead Kentucky 2-0 in the top of the second out in Hoover. The Hoover Met, the SEC tournament. South Carolina, Arkansas, Vandy, Tennessee, Mississippi State, and A&M to follow. When we come back, not really related to Gus Malzahn, but coaches who have a reputation that's better than their results in college football. Okay? Think about this. Reputation that they're doing a good job, better than their results. We'll try not to get caught in the weeds of judging on the curve of somebody who's winning games at a place it's hard to win to. We always do, though. That's when we come back on TNR.
Take the next round anywhere you go with official Next Round gear. Buy yours today at nextround.store.
This hour of The Next Round is presented by the Birmingham Racecourse Casino, now featuring 7 days of giveaways with your chance to win a share of up to $125,000. The more you visit the Birmingham Racecourse Casino, the more chances you have to win.
Stop by the New York Butcher Shop and pick up the finest in certified Angus prime beef steaks and burgers, premium pork chops, ribs, and all-natural chicken cut to order just for you. Their chef-prepared entrees and side dishes are the perfect dinner-to-go choice for your family and are ready to heat at home. With a great selection of fine wines and desserts, the New York Butcher Shop is your one-stop dinner shop. 2 locations to serve you, Cahaba Heights and on Highway 119 in Greystone. The New York Butcher Shop. Rare quality, well-done service.
Take TNR on the go with a podcast built for your satisfaction. Miss Hour 1, find it in podcast form. Miss Hour 2, stream it now. Miss Hour 3, download it for later. Miss Hour 4, well, just know it's never coming back. Listen to TNR wherever you find podcasts.
You got to look your best to play your best, and our friends at Bandwagon can help your team find the perfect uniforms for that upcoming season. Bandwagon is with you every step of the way, from developing your team logo design to choosing from their multitude of samples. You name the sport, they can make it happen. To get your uniform journey started, you can shoot them a message on any social media platform or check out their website, bandwagonsports.com. That's bandwagonsports.com. Next round listeners, it's time to jump on the bandwagon.
Hey, let me tell you about our friends at Urology Centers of Alabama. Compassionate and comprehensive urological care with 35 physicians, 17 locations across Alabama. Their patient-centered approach to all of your urological needs. Remember, they've got that new men's health center. It is beautiful, helping men with a wide range of sensitive male issues in a comfortable environment. You can always go online, visit urologycentersalabama.com, schedule an appointment with one of their many urologists today.
Golf season is here, and if you're looking for a great golf course with affordable rates, you need to check out the newly renovated Woodward Golf Club. Woodward Golf Club is a semi-private club with membership opportunities available, but is also open to the public. You can book tee times online at this hidden gem by going to golfwoodward.com. For only $195 per month, you can enjoy unlimited golf 7 days a week. Membership includes discounted cart fees, unlimited range balls, and the use of our practice facilities. For more information on memberships and the course, check us out online at golfwoodward.com.
Hey, Lance Taylor from the Next Round to tell you about our friends at Gutter Cap. Gutter Cap's that patented aluminum cover system that fits over most existing gutters to keep out debris and eliminate that gutter cleaning. It's backed with a lifetime warranty, almost 20-year service record right here in Birmingham. Stay off that dangerous ladder forever. 45% off the retail price now if you call guttercapbirmingham.com. Call my good friend Chris Stewart now, 205-823-2212. Cap it, don't snap it. It's Gutter Cap.
Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown, and Rockstar. Live from the Birmingham Racecourse Casino Studios, The Next Round, presented by Bud Light, is on now.
Another hour of the show, hour number 2 now, LTD&B and the rest of the gang up here on the Next Round. Want to take you out to the Knicks Kids event yesterday. It was at Old Overton, wasn't it?
It was at Old Overton.
Old Overton. Emily Grace McWhorter was out there. Cut 2, Rockstar. A lot of Alabama events here in town yesterday. But EG gets a chance to ask Kalen DeBoer. Now, keep in mind that for Kalen DeBoer, he played the national championship at Washington. Within 48 hours, he's in discussion with Greg Byrne about replacing Nick Saban, and then he's on a plane without his family and just a small bag, and he comes down here and tries to keep anybody from hitting the portal, then recruits, has National Signing Day, then goes through spring practice, and finally, the DeBoer family is reunited. Here's EG talking to Kalen DeBoer yesterday.
What's the update on your family moving into Tuscaloosa? Are they settled yet? The girls here? What's the deal?
They're here, but we're not settled yet.
Okay.
So we're still making that move, and we have a home picked out, just not in it yet. So we're excited. It feels every day more and more like our family's getting kind of everything put in place. My wife we got a chance to be out here today too, so it's fun for all of us to get settled in the community.
They found a home.
Two things I learned last night. One, all of his stuff is on a truck in Illinois, he said. I don't know why it's in Illinois, but that's where all of his stuff is. It's in Illinois.
Okay. It does seem like an odd place for it.
I don't know if it's on its way here and it's just in Illinois right now. If Brett from New Mexico has to pick it up and bring it the rest of the way, I don't know. But he said Illinois last night. I think if EG can hear me in the lobby, I think it was Illinois. He said where his truck was. And then the second thing was, once the event was over with, I think I got asked 6 different times by 6 different groups, do you think his daughter will come and play for Alabama softball? Because Alabama softball is still playing this weekend in the Super Regionals. Washington is not.
It's not, huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you look? I love the transparency, and he is a guy that seems like he'll answer every question. Is he a little too transparent?
Not when you're undefeated. We'll find out later on.
This season is going to be so fascinating.
Boy, it really is.
Because I think they've got the talent to go 11-1, but a game at Wisconsin, like they lose in Camp Randall or get run off the field in Bryant-Denny to Georgia.
Yeah, but
you just wonder what the criticisms are going to be.
I was talking to EG about this last night. We're honeymoon stage is going on. Everyone loves Kalen DeBoer. Really a nice guy. The coaching staff's really good.
What did Willie shoot at the golf tournament?
It was Roll Tide Willie there.
I didn't make it out there. I have to ask EG if Roll Tide Willie was there.
Willie, we're firing at the pin on this one.
We go with the putter on that drive? Yep. All right. Let's film it.
Let's film it.
Yeah. You got your exposure shirt on? All right.
I think his 15 minutes are gone, right?
I don't know.
It seems to have slowed down a bit here, but maybe he's on vacation.
No, you'll see him at, like, what is the Riverfest you used to go to where you saw Kansas and Hart? And
There's two different things. Kansas was a different concert, but it was Riverfest in Gadsden.
They'll put him in a dunking booth. I mean, he's still got he's flaming out, but
dunking booth of alcohol.
Yeah, I mean it is. He's got endorsement deals now. I saw him.
It's embarrassing.
I saw him on TikTok in front of.
Would you be shocked if he was on the sideline with a headset?
Yeah, that would shock me.
I don't think I would be.
Oh, I would be right. At some point, somebody's
it's plain radio stuff. Don't worry.
If I was an Alabama fan and he is on the sideline with a headset, I think my fandom's over.
Yeah, I think somebody steps in at that point.
Inverness Country Club for you young, successful couples, those of you that have reached that perfect point in life and you're looking for a place to enjoy your kids and a good round of golf, good meals, good hospitality. Inverness
Good
Country
setup,
Club.
Dunaway. You know, we had somebody up here yesterday, and he is a member at another country club, and I was asking him what the membership dues were now. And the number he threw out to me, I was like, my gosh, how do people afford that? That's the thing. When you hear country club, there's a stigma. You're like, oh, my God, this is going to cost me a fortune. Not at Inverness. This is one of the best-kept secrets around. If you are in our area here where we originate out of, you got to get a tour of this unbelievable club. Call Erin today. Tell her the next round sent you. 205-991-8608. That's 205-991-8608. Online, iccalabama.com. Best days happen in Inverness. They've got memberships that fit everyone, from the social membership, including resort-style pool complex, full-service cabana, the golf membership, beautiful course, currently expanding the driving range. Look, maybe you work from home. What about working from the club while they watch your kid? Childcare is a huge plus, especially during the summer months. Whatever your interests are, you can find it at Inverness. They even have a vineyard club. Dunaway, you can get in a wine club at Inverness Country Club. Again, look, maybe you relocated, you're retired. It's a great place to network. Find your sense of community at Inverness Country Club. Again, call Erin today. Get a tour, 205-991-8608.
All right, Jeff from Anniston's on the phone here, from Roll Tide Willie to Jeff from Anniston. Same person, never seen them both in the same place.
That's a good point.
I think you're giving Willie too much credit, man. I was thinking, wouldn't it be wild, someday people had their dogs barks altered to sound like Scooby-Doo, or Hey Hey Mama, sound like Zeppelin or Elvis, or if you had a badass guard dog and he could bark, game over, man, game over.
How many milligrams does it take to get you high?
Nah, it takes pretty good.
I would think you're a 30 milligram guy.
I would need. I would sign up for that right now, because I live in a townhome community now, and I got my second noise complaint.
No, you didn't.
Oh, people complaining about you?
Yeah, about our
because
dogs barking during the day.
Oh, no.
When I'm not there.
Do
but
they stay inside?
I leave the blinds open.
Yeah.
And if they've got people working outside, my dogs are going to bark at them.
Well, don't leave the blinds open.
Well, I hate for them to sit like they're in jail all day long.
Complaining about it? I'm a dog lover.
So it's got to be, aren't you on an and unit? It's got to be the person with a shared wall. That'd be the only person complaining, right?
I confronted them after the first noise complaint, and they said no.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay.
But the other dogs across the street bark more than my dogs do, but that's a different matter.
Different subject.
The pool's open on time this year, Brown. I'm happy.
Yeah, there you go.
All right, who do you say had a better career, Eddie Van Halen or Ozzy Osbourne?
Oh, so Eddie Van Halen could be considered a top 5 guitarist of all time?
He pioneered the art of almost like the art of shredding, like the way the amount of people he influenced. He changed guitar work so much, and what he did, like Ozzy too. I just think Eddie Van Halen was just much more talented.
Yeah, I think Ozzy more of an icon, but I'll never forget, and you guys might have seen, and I forgot what the performance was, but David Lee Roth threw up the mic stand, it hit him in the face, and so he has to walk off, and then Eddie's got to basically ad-lib for like 5 minutes, and he was the unbelievable best at just ad-libbing and playing anything and everything. Right. It's crazy. Right. So I would lean Eddie Van Halen,
I think I would
but
too.
It's really close.
Yeah. Ozzy, a lot of people... he's like the godfather of heavy metal. A lot of people consider his voice to be one of the better for, heavy metal. So
and it's interesting you bring those two up, because I was swimming laps yesterday, and Jack had his boombox out there in his playlist, and he had Black Sabbath on the playlist, and he had old Van Halen. So these teenagers, I mean, they still, I mean, that music's timeless.
Eddie Van Halen for me because of what Rockstar said.
Right. Okay. And by the way, I know it's tough on a lot of LT's better than questions because it's like actors and athletes, so you got to try to find but Oscars don't mean a damn thing to me. We all know what those awards are, so, but I know y'all got to find something to try to.
Hey, I can give you my number, and you can start texting me 4 downs every day.
Wow.
No, I'm serious. I mean, I would love that.
I'm just saying, no, that's fine. It's just that, Oscars, that doesn't equate to me to when you do those questions about MVP. But anyway, a week ago, I could have walked right past Scotty Scheffler and not known who he was. But I believe I'd recognize him now. And don't you think he's getting a little old for Scotty? I mean, come on, man.
I thought that the other day. 2 things. He is in 4 downs today.
So you want him to be Scott Scheffler?
I think there is a time where you become Scott.
At what age?
I think at 30, he's got to become Scott.
Why I quit becoming Jeffy at 9. I remember telling my uncle, quit calling me Jeffy when I was 9.
So we had a guy that was a year younger than us in middle school, and his name was Scotty. Everybody knew him as Scotty. Played basketball, Scotty. Parents called him Scotty. Teachers, students, everybody called him Scotty. 9th grade, he enrolls. The first class he was in with me, when they do roll call, they say Scotty. He raises Scott.
Oh, right.
So like it was decided 9th grade, you are now a man. You're Scott.
I was junior, is what my family called me, all through life. And apparently, even after college, because I met a young lady who used to live next door to me last night at the Tide Tour event, and she introduced me as junior to the crowd. So at some point, you got to stop being junior, too, but I still answer to it.
All right. Well, that's respectful. More important to their team, a great field goal kicker or a really good DH. Both are part-time players, but...
Well, a really good DH. I don't know, man.
I think a great kicker, though, your ability, how it changes your play calling inside a certain yard line.
Yeah, and really in the NFL, if you got a great kicker, man, once you...
and points are such a premium.
Yeah, but I mean, I was going to say, once you cross the 40, you've got points in the bag.
Yep, that's right.
If you're an NFL team with a good kicker.
Especially with moving the extra points back now. It's even more important.
Yeah, I think I'd go field goal kicker.
There's a huge pay difference, though, isn't there?
Oh, yeah, no doubt.
And I guess it depends on your lineup, too. Like last year, Ohtani with the Angels when he was DH, and that was a big deal. But now,
Field goal kicker for me on this one.
Yeah, I would go field goal kicker.
I think so, too. But like I said, they pay the DHs everything, and field goal kickers are at the low end. Greater Laker, LeBron or Wilt?
LeBron.
Wilt Chamberlain?
I mean, Chamberlain's best years weren't necessarily in L.A.
I know, but they were good enough to be better than
he
LeBron.
He did say Lakers. So.
Yeah, and really, LeBron's only got the one championship, or he's only got the one championship in L.A., and it was in 2020. So, yeah, I probably would go Wilt.
Yeah, I think I'd go Wilt.
I like Wilt a lot better.
Yeah, Wilt Chamberlain for me.
Yeah, right. And LT Rick, what's gotten into Derrick Jones for the Mavs the last 3 games, man? I know Washington's been a focal point of what a great pickup. These last 3 games, Jones has played out of his mind.
Jones has been great, but PJ is that third option now. I mean, obviously Luka, Kyrie, and PJ getting him at the deadline, that was massive for the Mavericks.
How about Kyrie's elimination game record? He's never lost one. Like he's 14-0.
Wow.
In game 7s, I think.
Did not know that.
I saw a stat where
I had no idea.
It's a mind-boggling stat that in a must-win elimination, I think it was a game 7, he's won them all.
Yeah. All right. Brownie, someone you have a kindred spirit with, Helen Keller once said, to me, a barefoot lush carpet of pine needles or spongy grass is more welcome than the most luxurious Persian rug. So she liked going barefoot too.
Well, I kind of like that idea right there.
But what's more amazing, the fact that she became such an orator, a writer, to become Helen Keller, or the fact that Ann Sullivan could teach a deaf, dumb, blind kid to be Helen Keller?
No, that's incredible to me. Like, if you read the whole story now, there are a surprising amount of people that think this story's not real. I am learning that the Helen Keller story there's some conspiracy theorists out there, and I never knew that existed until recently. But boy, the whole Ann Sullivan story, if you believe it to be true, which I do, that is incredible.
The Miracle Worker?
The Miracle Worker, yeah. I mean,
well, I guess nobody did a sit-down interview with Helen Keller, right?
There's video of her. There's video of her making appearances.
Yeah, she spoke. She was a big activist.
Yeah, she spoke at something in New York City. Like if you go up, I've actually been to the birthplace up there in Tuscumbia. If you go up there, they got video of it.
And I know y'all probably know, but I couldn't believe I was reading the other day that Bronco Mendenhall is at New Mexico now.
I have no idea. Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah, he seems to trade down, doesn't he?
BYU to Virginia, Virginia to New Mexico.
Yeah, strange.
And this may be silly or naive, but I'm going to ask anyway. Since there's no rules in NIL, can national religious organizations donate millions for their teams, like the Mormons to BYU, Catholics to Notre Dame, Methodist?
I don't know why not. And if you know the net worth of the Mormon church, they got plenty of money to throw around.
Well, all of them would, yeah. And hell, just at your local church, say, "Hey, we're taking up." You know,
I mean, that used to happen before. They used to funnel money and recruiting through churches back in the day. So I mean, it'd be nothing new.
Yeah, I actually brought it up last night when every table had a QR code, and I said, if you're already a member, just take it to your church and pass it around at church.
They think you give it to the missions fund.
Give 10% to God, 5% to the tithe.
And the last one, when Mahomes retires, where do you think he'll be listed as an all-time quarterback? And same question for Andy Reid.
I will go.
Thank
Mahomes
you, Jeff.
is going to end up your number 2 all-time quarterback, and I think Andy Reid is going to end up top 5. Maybe. Definitely top 10.
How many does he have now? 3?
He's got 3.
But he's appeared in 4.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think he's going to get another one.
Would be the best coach in our generation, if not for Belichick.
If he gets one more, he becomes a top 5 guy. I mean, Chuck Noll has to be there. 4 championships in the 70s.
Yeah, I think it's more difficult to do now. A lot more difficult to do.
Lombardi has to be there.
Lombardi's got to be there. I think Shula's got to be there. Belichick's got to be there.
What about Landry?
I would put him over Landry. I'd put him over Noll, too.
You would take Andy Reid over Landry?
Yeah.
I think I would, too.
Just because
you put him over Chuck Noll.
Yeah.
I would. He's done it so Philadelphia, obviously not the success he's had at Kansas City, but going to 4 consecutive NFC championship games and a Super Bowl, and then going to Kansas City and winning 3 championships, I think he'll get another one, too. I mean, the consistency there and today's free agency is much different.
You put Shula over him?
Over Reid?
Yeah.
I mean, Shula's still the all-time winningest. It's hard to ignore that.
And has a little longevity at that point, though.
Well, I mean,
I think right
wins
now,
or wins. He coached it, but he also had shorter seasons. You say longevity.
Yeah.
I mean, some of those are but some of them were 12 games.
If you pull Lombardi's record, it's completely ridiculous what he did.
Yeah.
So I think Lombardi is going to be one. I know Belichick was there, but based on what Belichick hasn't been able to do without Tom Brady, to me, it does pull him down a little bit. I still put him on that list, and I think he's probably number 2, but he's not number 1 for me anymore. Do you guys, would you say Bill Belichick's best coach ever?
I would not know. Andy Reid, has he won any without Mahomes?
Well, the thing with Andy Reid is
he was in 4 NFC championships with Donovan McNabb.
He was.
Who's a Hall of Fame quarterback.
Yeah.
Alex Smith, they won 11, 12 games.
And Trent Dilfer was. Trent Dilfer was Brad Johnson won a Super Bowl. I mean, just NFC championships, nothing.
NFC championship is a pretty big deal.
Yeah.
To get there. Yeah.
Royal Payne's right. Lombardi loses a lot because he coached pre-Super Bowl era. So it's hard for us to qualify what he did.
Just pull it real quick, though.
Well, I know that, Jim, but he was coaching pre-Super Bowl era.
He did. He won a lot of NFL championships.
That's what I'm saying.
I think, and I could be wrong here, I think he won double-digit games every one of his seasons.
That would be hard to do.
I would tell you this, that when they hand you a trophy and your name on it, you're going to be in the top 5.
That's true. When they say, what do we name the trophy everybody's playing for? Let's name it after Vince Lombardi.
Yeah.
No, Lance, he had a... No, that is not correct. Okay. I mean, Vince Lombardi did not coach a long time. That's the thing.
He did not, but give me NFL and then Super Bowl champion.
But did he not win? Half of the years he coached, he won championships.
5 NFL championships in 9 seasons.
Yep.
At Green Bay. People forget he coached a year for the Redskins.
Okay, that's pretty
that
strong.
Great.
5 and 9.
He did that with cancer.
Oh, he had cancer at the time? Did he pass away?
I think
while he was the Redskins coach. I know he passed
still
away.
walking the earth. Yeah,
I think he retired. Yeah.
So they lost to Philadelphia in the NFL championship. They won 3 additional NFL championships and 2 Super Bowls in his time there. I mean, it's hard to argue. I mean, it was a very short time as the Green Bay coach, but it was super successful.
And for whatever reason, it didn't look weird that he was trolling the sidelines in a trench coat.
I know.
Can you imagine if an NFL coach came out in a trench coat now?
Yeah.
Wow.
89,
They put him
20
on a watch list.
89, 29, and 4, according to Royal Pain.
That's pretty damn strong right there.
That is correct. 89, 29, and 4.
Yep. That's crazy. All right. Show being brought to you by our friends at Michelson Laser Vision. One more thing to do this segment. Tell us about Michelson.
Yeah, 205-969-8100. Everything going up in price right now, not for LASIK at Michelson Laser Vision. Pre-inflation pricing right now. Call 205-969-8100. Ask for Amy. Tell her the next round sent you. Ask about that pre-inflation pricing. Again, I got the procedure done over 2 decades ago. I've still got 20/15 vision, better than 20/20. Make the phone call that I made. Schedule the hassle-free consultation. $0 to lose to find out if LASIK is right for you. Maybe you got a check from Uncle Sam back. Use it for something that will last you a lifetime. Use it for LASIK at Michelson Laser Vision, 205-969-8100 or michelsonlaservision.com.
Okay, 2 things. One, Brown, can we get a 4th mic in here next segment and let EG join us? She's got a story to tell us last night that has become a trend with our show.
Okay.
It's a trend that EG noticed last night.
Okay.
That has become a thing with our show. She'll tell you the story.
Good thing?
And she'll hang out for 4 downs. We'll find out. The Monaco Grand Prix is this weekend. I did not know this until I was reading about this.
Hey, whoever's leading on lap 1 is going to win this thing.
In Monaco, the city itself, there are 12,000 millionaires who reside in Monaco. 1/3 of the population are millionaires. And I assume the other 2/3 serve them. They work for them?
Probably so.
Yeah. That's insane. Largest sporting venue in the world gets used this weekend as well. What is it?
Largest sporting venue in the world. It's Bristol, right?
Bristol Motor Speedway.
You're close. It's the Indianapolis Motor Speedway.
Yeah.
235,000 permanent seats. I didn't know it was that big. 235,000.
I've never been. I've really never had a desire to go.
I haven't really had a desire. I did drive by it when I was in Indianapolis once, and it's not real impressive. I hate to sound like Dunaway, but from the outside, you're like, guys,
I'd rather
doesn't
go to
blow me away.
A prison rodeo than the Indy 500.
Prison rodeo?
Yeah. I've been. It's a lot of people.
Prison rodeo?
No.
Oh. They have them.
They do. A lot of people. Goose says the yachts at Monaco are impressive. Yes, when you got 12,000 millionaires,
I would imagine.
You don't come in with a small boat, my friend. Lunsford, Indianapolis Motor Speedway has a golf course in it, Brown.
It does. It's got 3 holes of a golf course in it. It's the most of the golf course is out of the track, and you play inside the track for, I think, 3 holes.
It's all trashy, if I remember.
Trashy?
Yeah,
that's a Pete Dye design course.
I didn't think it was in good shape when I saw it.
No, I think it's actually in very good shape. They used to play a Champions Tour event on it.
Really?
Yeah.
Not when I saw it. Maybe I was looking in the wrong place.
Could have.
When we come back, we'll do our 4 downs, and EG tells a story from last night's Tide on Tour. That is next right here on TNR, the show that's being brought to you today by our friends at Hemp Hill LT.
205-229-2090. Make sure that unit ready to keep up with the changing weather. It's going to be 90 degrees. Looks like it's going to kiss 90 this weekend. Make sure that AC is pumping it out. Call 205-229-2090. Whether you experience plumbing, heating, or cooling issues in your home or business, they are ready to serve you. Adam, Chad, Andrew, the guys there. Call them. Tell them the next round sent you. For more information, hemphillservices.com.
Never miss anything Auburn. Watch Village Vice at Wardam Pods on YouTube and listen wherever you get your podcasts.
Storm season is here. Make sure you have a plan of action in place right now. Greg from Pell City and Storm Restoration Roofing should be your first call when storms hit. Insurance companies love working with Storm Restoration Roofing because of Greg Nelson's name and reputation in the industry. When storms hit, call Greg Nelson. He's local, 205-542-3531. He's the home of the free no-cost roof inspection. Greg from Pell City on Facebook, 205-542-3531. It's Storm Restoration Roofing.
Stop by the New York Butcher Shop and pick up the finest in certified Angus prime beef steaks and burgers, premium pork chops, ribs, and all-natural chicken cut to order just for you. Their chef-prepared entrees and side dishes are the perfect dinner-to-go choice for your family and are ready to heat at home. With a great selection of fine wines and desserts, the New York Butcher Shop is your one-stop dinner shop. 2 locations to serve you, Cahaba Heights and on Highway 119 in Greystone. The New York Butcher Shop. Rare quality, well-done service.
Maybe you follow us on Instagram, Facebook, X, LinkedIn, or TikTok. While we're changing the game yet again, Tyler's Telegrams has been developed exclusively for you.
Hi, this is the lovable boy you know as Tyler the Intern. I'm a businessman now. I will come directly to your door and tell you every time a new piece of TNR content drops. For the low, low price of $740,000, you can be notified by me, one of the biggest stars of the next round, about that thing you missed. Sure, the rest of those social media services are free, but so is radio, and we all know how well that's trending.
Tyler's Telegrams is currently operating exclusively in Bibb County. Other social media platforms are available everywhere.
Hey, let me tell you about our friends at Urology Centers of Alabama. Compassionate and comprehensive urological care with 35 physicians, 17 locations across Alabama. Their patient-centered approach to all of your urological needs. Remember, they've got that new men's health center. It is beautiful, helping men with a wide range of sensitive male issues in a comfortable environment. You can always go online, visit urologycentersalabama.com, schedule an appointment with one of their many urologists today.
It's time to pull the trigger on the Next Round merch that you've been eyeing. We know there's a lot to choose from at nextround.store, so here's a few of our favorite picks. If you want to match LT and Brown, go with a TNR logo hoodie and throw in one of Dunaway's favorite hats. Any of them will do. The Backroom's go-to is the classic logo t-shirt, while my personal favorite is the light blue TNR crew neck. All of these items can be found at nextround.store and are EG approved. Rest assured, your order will be packed with lots of love from us here at the Next Round. Head over to nextround.store to start filling up your cart.
Hey, you. Summer's here. Time to get hot. And at New Balance Birmingham, that's just what we got. For a summertime vibe, see what's inside. Come together at New Balance Birmingham on Highway 280, right next to Chick-fil-A. New Balance Birmingham, we got now.
Emily Grace McWhorter in here with us now, EG. She was out at the Knicks Kids golf tournament yesterday as well. She's going to tell us a story from Tide Tour when LT hops back in here. But set up this Nick Saban bite here. Hold on a second. There we go.
Old Overton Country Club, and one of the reporters asked Nick Saban if he sees much of Miss Terry leading up to weeks like this.
Now that you're retired, is Miss Terry putting you to work more with the foundation, or how does that go?
You know, she's so used to me not being around. I think she's looking for things to keep me that way, which is good for golf. But, you know, I'm able to do things that I've never been able to do before, whether it's work things, whether it's speaking, whether it's doing TV, whether it's to continue to try to support things like this, you know, to help in the community. You know, we're actually in the process of starting a sort of a foundation for career development for our former players, which, you know, Molly Dodd is going to sort of head up at the university, and we are funding that to some degree. You know, when players get finished playing, they end up calling me. But we have so many great resources at the university that could help these guys launch the next career. That's something that we wanted to get organized and do a better job of. So projects like that, I never had a chance to do things like that before, so now we have a chance to do it.
Yeah, great thing for the former players there when their playing days are over. So EG, last night joined me at the Tide Tour.
I did.
And you told me afterwards that all of a sudden there's a trend.
Yes. So we've talked about this on the show before, about your dream about Kalen DeBoer's cell phone device.
Do I need to reset that?
Yes.
Is that important to the story?
Yes, it is.
All right, so just real quick, I had a dream. It's the most random dream in the world. I was standing on the sidelines for Alabama's opening game against Western Kentucky, a place I would never be. I'm not going to go to that game. And for some reason in my dream, which makes no sense, but it was just part of my dream, Kalen DeBoer has asked me to hold his cell phone during the game. Makes no sense whatsoever. I get it, but that's the way dreams work. And like the phone will not stop buzzing with text after text after text during the game. And I'm like, do I look at the text? What do I do about this? Do I just hold the phone and let it buzz? Do
Roll
I see
Tide Willie, blitz Bama, blitz?
Do I see who's texting him? Dunaway was like, "Oh, you got to do it because it might be an important text. You got to." And I'm like, I'm not going to interrupt the game. I don't know how important the text would have to be for me to interrupt the game. So yeah, that was a random dream I had. Then do I need to do the follow up?
Yeah, do the follow up.
So then a couple of weeks later, we're at the Regions, and on our Coca-Cola conversations, Coach DeBoer asked me to make a photo of him and Riley Green for his daughter. So he hands me his phone, and as they're getting ready, I'm standing there holding his phone, and he's getting like text after text. And I'm like, this is like a weird full circle part of the dream. I'm holding his phone, and it's texting. He's getting text, and I'm not going to look at the text. I got to stand here and take the photo, right?
So last night, they're getting ready to wrap, and I was on the other side of the stage, and they were leaving on the other side because the door was right there, quick exit where the state troopers were, get in the car and head out. Well, they would wait on my side and then go around back. So DeBoer is standing there next to me. We're listening to Dunaway, get the crowd going, excellent host. And he put his phone down on this table before he went on stage. Well, he forgot that he put his phone there. So Aaron Settles is like, where's DeBoer's phone? I have to get his phone because I saw him where he put it. And I have to handle this man's phone. And I'm like, how many of our hands have touched his phone?
So did you hold his phone the whole time he's speaking?
He put it on a table, and then I watched him do it because it was just me and him standing there.
Yeah.
And he forgot, but I knew where the phone was.
That's right.
So I saved
How long
the
did
day.
you hold it?
Just a second.
Was it buzzing? Like, was he getting text while you're holding it?
No, but I was kind of nervous. Like, what if I drop DeBoer's phone and then it's like
I'm sure
shattered?
It's the university replaces that
So
overnight.
It was pretty crazy because I had this realization of we are once again in control of DeBoer's phone.
This is a really weird occurrence. It keeps happening on this show.
Again, it shows you the transparency of DeBoer. So many people are so like, I would assume Lane Kiffin's got a privacy screen.
Yeah.
Is that a fair assumption?
I picture Lane, pillow, phone right here.
So funny. I went through the Taco Bell drive-thru Saturday after my pickleball excursion.
How was pickleball?
It was awesome.
Good.
It was a lot of fun.
You
Shout out to
without
Greg
me?
and the guys. I did start without you.
Who'd you play with?
This dude over kind of by our houses has got his own pickleball court. He's a bachelor. He's got a pool. I mean, really good setup, full bar out there. But I went and played 3 games with those guys.
One of our favorite families, Gina and Don, are putting the pickleball court in at Smith Lake.
I can't wait.
Yeah.
Awesome. We're going to do Beer Olympics up there, so looking forward to that. But we went through the drive-thru at Taco Bell, and the screen was completely black. And so the girl came on, and I was like, I can't see anything in the screen. She was like, yeah, that's our privacy screen. She was just having fun with it.
That's pretty funny. I like that. I like the sense of humor there.
So everybody's touching DeBoer's phone these days on the show.
Interesting.
You and me next, LT. We're gonna have to handle.
Did y'all ever handle like another coach's phone, like in any capacity?
No, not really.
I don't think I've handled anybody's phone.
Yeah, it's pretty rare.
In the old days, EG, before NIL and players being paid legally, they would have just walked over and hit it with a hammer.
Yeah.
So once you touch it, they'd be like, "Oh, we cannot have this as evidence."
Did she see anything? We don't think so.
Again,
but she will not be able to prove it.
I mean, outside of wins and losses, these regimes seem to be about as different as they can be with Saban and DeBoer. Can you imagine anybody touching Saban's phone?
No.
Did he even have one?
I don't think he used it much.
Yeah.
But I do want to set the record straight too with yesterday that DeBoer was not scheduled for media with us. So Saban had a scheduled slot, but DeBoer voluntarily walked up to the few of us that were left and wanted to chat.
Yeah. That's a theme. That's a theme with him.
I haven't done an interview in 30 minutes. Let me hop out here real quick. He's meeting the people. I joked with him last night. I think you've met every Alabama fan.
Yeah.
That's what I told him when he sat down. I said, you've done all these events, all these interviews. I think you've personally shook every Alabama fan's hand already before your first game.
All right, that should be like the pitch for NIL, though. If every Alabama fan would just give us $1.
Yeah.
Because how many Alabama fans are out there?
Well, the pitch is for Alabama is $18 a month, and if you fill up, if just half of the people in Bryant-Denny Stadium does $18 a month, it'll be the same for Jordan-Hare Stadium, whatever.
It's a good business plan, but I'm just still saying
half the people, the same as a Netflix membership. You make all the money you need.
I think the way I would roll is I would have Nick Saban do the love offering. So when I was a kid, evangelists would come through town and they would preach at a church and be, hey, you give whatever it meant to you. How much did that sermon mean to you?
How much did I mean to you?
How much did that mean to you? I'm not going to ask for a certain dollar amount. You just you do a love offering. How much did Nick Saban mean to you, Johnny from Clanton, Alabama? If Nick Saban meant $10 for you, we appreciate that donation to NIL.
Well, start at Jordan here at Bryant Denny TV timeouts. Just have people walking with buckets. You just pass it down the road.
Yeah.
Drop it in.
Yeah, we want to remind you, we can't send our kids to the mission trip. Wait a minute, we can't pay our
players. People dropping miniatures in there.
Right now, buckets passing in front of you here at Bryant Denny Stadium.
If you're in section 232.
If you're happy that we're up 14-0 on Tennessee right now, go ahead and fill the buckets up.
Yeah.
Just go take it downstairs. 4 Downs every day brought to you by our friends at Slice. EG's going to hang in and answer the questions with us.
These are all birthdays, by the way.
I love it.
Good.
Yeah. 5 locations for you. Make sure you stop in, see the Bajaya Brothers, local pizza, local ingredients. Get a slice and a salad today. From the Hot Mama all the way to the Wing and a Prayer. You're going to absolutely love it. For more information, slicebirmingham.com.
First down.
Colts second-year quarterback Anthony Richardson, former Florida Gator, 23 years old today. If I asked you ultimately better career, Anthony Richardson or the Hornets' Brandon Miller?
Brandon Miller just on the all-rookie team.
I mean, I think it's going to be easier to do it as a basketball player than an NFL quarterback. So I'll probably go Brandon Miller on that one. Though Richardson did look good early on.
The key is he's with Charlotte.
Yeah, until that second contract. If he plays any kind of basketball, he'll be out of Charlotte.
Yeah, I mean, you do have Anthony Richardson with a better overall organization. I don't even think that's close.
But if Richardson is ever not a Colt quarterback, that means he struggled as a Colt quarterback.
I didn't think he was going to be good. Watching him early on, though, they played the Rams in September, and I thought he was a good quarterback. I don't know if he can keep the consistency, but I'm with you. I would go Brandon Miller.
I'll go Brandon
Miller.
Yeah,
Brandon Miller.
Yeah.
All right, it's unanimous.
Second down.
Tommy Rees, former Alabama OC, 32 years old today. Dude's old.
Oh, wow.
32, right? Yeah.
Did you think he was 32, EG?
I did not think he was 32.
32 years old, and he is now the tight end coach for the Cleveland Browns.
That's right.
But if I asked you,
Big fan of the floor band, I bet.
Oh, Tommy Rees, who's not a fan of the floor band.
Who wouldn't be?
I've got a good Tommy Rees quote that I'll save.
Okay.
I think you guys have heard it.
Yep.
But if I asked you, Kane Womack or Tommy Rees, who is a head coach first? I know Womack has been one before at South Alabama, but this time around, Tommy Rees or Kane Womack?
Kane Womack.
Kane Womack.
Yeah, tell me why, EG.
I think what he's doing right now in college football is going to be celebrated, and it's also going to be desired with the ever-evolving recruiting and NIL, and he's playing into that super well, and the success he had at South Alabama speaks for itself.
Yeah, I mean, I think for Tommy Rees, if he's going to be an NFL head coach, he's probably going to have to be a coordinator first. I don't think you can go from tight ends coach at Cleveland to head coach.
Long way to go.
Without calling plays. Now, he could come back to the college game pretty easily as a head coach, but at a smaller level. And I don't know if he's going to want to do that. So I think I'll go Kane Womack as well.
I think he has to come back be a coordinator in college.
Do you think so too?
Yeah. He's got to be a coordinator somewhere before he becomes a head coach, in my opinion. And see, Womack is a defensive coordinator,
and
has already been a head coach.
Yeah.
And he's at a high-profile school. If they have any success at all this year, I could see him be one and done in Tuscaloosa.
Oh, I could too. Absolutely, yeah.
Third down.
Julian Edelman, 38 years old today. I loved the way Nikki Glazer summed him up at the roast. I've told you guys stories. Super Bowl 53 in Atlanta, EG, watching my Rams, and he was my least favorite Patriot, Julian Edelman, and I sit next to a couple that has Edelman jerseys on. And I said, I really don't care what happens in this game. I hope Edelman has a bad game. Rams score 3 points. He wins the MVP. Anyway, Edelman, 38 years old today. Ultimately better career, Julian Edelman or Jalen Waddle?
Well, Edelman's going to get a boost because he played with Tom Brady during the glory years of the Patriots, but I technically believe Waddle's a better football player.
I think Waddle's probably the better football player, yeah. I mean, the interesting thing, Lance, about Waddle, what does he do with his career? So his deal will be coming up soon. Does he say, I want to go be a one somewhere?
And I think he can be.
I think he can be.
Yeah.
Or does he say, boy, this offense, I can still be a top 5 receiver, which he can be also in yards, but you're just not going to make that kind of money. I mean, which one do you chase the money, or do you say, well, I tell you what, in this offense, I touch the ball a lot?
Yeah, but what about this tip for tat, EG? What about Waddle when his contract comes up? He goes to Kansas City and plays the old Tyreek Hill position.
Yeah, that is a problem thing too. Yeah, I don't know, man. That's a tough one. I think I would say Jalen Waddle ends up with a better career because he's either going to go somewhere and be a 1 or he's going to stay in Miami and be maybe the best 2 in the NFL.
Yeah, and I think Edelman, like his bar, okay, so he's got one of the greatest catches in Super Bowl history against the Falcons in that 28-3 comeback. I'm sure your dad was crying when he made the catch
my mom was crying.
off the shoe.
Crying.
He is a former Super Bowl MVP. But he's always going to be known as Tom Brady's maybe second best receiver.
Yeah.
You know,
Can
maybe
I
it's
say
Deion Branch. Maybe
he'll
it's
have a better resume of moments, but Waddle will have the better career.
You don't
like
know that.
Yeah.
You don't know that.
I don't know
Waddle
that.
could win 2 Super Bowls.
He could, but right now.
Yeah.
He's just upset because he's a
I know.
Stacey
I
Dale
apologize.
Schumann watched an interview recently with her, and she said her most fascinating storyline is your Dolphins offense now with Odell there.
I mean, that's an incredible 3-man rotation at receiver.
Really
isn't it?
good play caller, too, and Mike McDaniel.
Yep.
Am Golfer says KC can't afford Waddle. Now do it when Kelsey's off the books.
Which you think could be next year based on what he's doing.
I think it will be
right
after
now.
this year.
I think this is his last year, and then Waddle's contract comes up.
Mm-hmm.
4th down.
Novak Djokovic is 37 years old today. If I asked you the Joker or Scotty Scheffler, ultimately better career.
Scotty Scheffler.
Oh, I don't know now, EG.
Yeah.
You know I'm a golf guy. How many does Joker win, though?
He's got 24 Grand Slam men's singles titles.
Yeah, so
No, I take that back.
Yeah, but I mean,
but that's a different.
It's a different sport. I would rather be the best golfer in the world than the best tennis
But
player.
he'll have a longer. Scotty will probably have a longer career.
Probably, yeah. I mean, tennis guys get old quick.
But Djokovic, I mean, to take it into his mid-30s is still the most dominant player in the world. It's pretty impressive.
I would say that Chef didn't win this past weekend.
No.
We're two majors away from Aaron Rodgers being on the clock to win that stake. Yeah. That was a big one this past weekend. Played well coming out of the jail cell.
Yeah, look, I mean,
If that can't rattle him.
I know. What's going to rattle him?
Yeah, he was great on Friday. He was great on Sunday. It was just, Saturday was bad.
Yeah, it's interesting. I'm going to go with the Joker because he's already done it. The other one still has to do it.
I mean, when you look at his I mean, 100 he's got 98 career titles.
Yeah, that's pretty insane.
And he was still ranked number 1 this past September.
Yeah, but I don't think there was the depth of competition for the Joker. I mean, you had Nadal and some others, but not as deep as the golf world.
Is he allowed to play in the U.S. Open now? Has that policy changed? He has not been. I don't know if it was last year too, but there was some time he couldn't play in the U.S. Open because he's unvaccinated.
Yeah, that's no longer a case.
Okay, that's not the case, so he can play now. All right, good.
What do you think Joker's net worth is?
A ton.
A ton.
Yeah. I mean, it's $250 million.
That's a ton.
That was 4 Downs, brought to you by Slice. The show also being brought to you by our friends at Woodhouse Day Spa LT.
Yeah, make sure treat that special someone to the gift of luxury from our friends at the Woodhouse Day Spa. Really simple here. You can stop by, go to that incredible facility, go see Stuart and the guys. EG got her brows done. Was it last week?
2 weeks ago?
I think it was last week. But look, they've got over 70 services or options, including massages, body treatment, skincare, waxing, nail services. Woodhouse Day Spa, voted America's best day spa since 2009. You can order that special person gift online 24/7. Go to birmingham.woodhousespas.com. That's birmingham.woodhousespas.com, or stop by the Summit Shopping Centers. Tell Stuart and the great staff up there the next round sent you.
And our friends at Precision Sports Medicine. LT's picked up pickleball, so he'll be seeing a couple of the Precision Sports doctors very soon when he starts trying to stretch it out to volley one back. You can get on the docket as well if you've tweaked something, broke something, twisted something, tore something. Precision Sports Medicine Orthopedics, locations everywhere from north of Birmingham all the way down to Alabaster and everywhere in between. 205-512-3885. 512-3885, precisionsportsortho.com/2024 to make an appointment today. Orthopedic care is better together. LT and I have both used this place before to get back right for work or play. It is Precision Sports Medicine and Orthopedics, 205-512-3885 or precisionsportsortho.com.
Follow The Next Round on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at Next Round Live. You
could win a Cadillac CT5 or your share of $25,000 in free play and cash at Birmingham Racecourse Casino. The more you visit, the more chances you have to win. Play the latest, most exciting games around with fun bonuses and big jackpots. You can be a winner too. Come win your share during the Cadillac CT5 and $25,000 giveaway at Birmingham Racecourse Casino. Drawings April 5th and 6th. Located off I-459, exit 31, Derby Parkway. Must be 21 or older, must be present to win.
Spring weather is here, and our friends at Hemphill Services are offering a $69 HVAC tune-up plus 10% off any service call when you mention the next round. Call Adam, Chad, and the guys at Hemphill Services. Make sure your HVAC unit is ready to keep up with the changing weather. Hemphill Services, locally owned and operated independent train dealer. The team can service all makes and models. For all of your plumbing, heating, and cooling needs, call Hemphill Services. It's hard to stop a train. 205-229-2090 or hemphillservices.com. That's 205-229-2090, hemphillservices.com.
The wait is over. Tonali has arrived. Beautifully distinctive Italian styling and performance. Come test drive the all-new 2024 Alfa Romeo Tonali plug-in hybrid at Alfa Romeo of Birmingham. The all-new Tonali offers best-in-class horsepower and torque, fastest 0 to 60 times in its class, plus best-in-class range with full electric charge. And best of all, qualified Tonali leasees are eligible for up to $7,500 EV tax credit factored into your lease. Hurry down to Alfa Romeo of Birmingham and experience the all-new Tonali.
Start your day online with our website, nextroundlive.com, for the latest videos, podcasts, and college football stories. It's also a great way to stream the show or shop in the Next Round store. Stay connected by visiting nextroundlive.com.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, you're in the red zone for every college rivalry and divisional matchup all season long. I mean, where else are the scenic views as good as your view of the game? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
You got to look your best to play your best, and our friends at Bandwagon can help your team find the perfect uniforms for that upcoming season. Bandwagon is with you every step of the way, from developing your team logo design to choosing from their multitude of samples. You name the sport, they can make it happen. To get your uniform journey started, you can shoot them a message on any social media platform or check out their website, bandwagonsports.com. That's bandwagonsports.com. Next round listeners, it's time to jump on the bandwagon.
Just because you've quit going to the gym, it doesn't mean that you have to quit gym altogether. Dunaway, that is. With our Next Round podcasts open 24/7, 365, you can access gym anytime you'd like. While you may have done away with your treadmill routine, our version of Dunaway is standing by, ready to get you back to your absolute best. Find all that lovely Jimmy D-led content on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and in the podcast section of nextroundlive.com. This message is sponsored by Jimmy Crypto Inc. and Jimmy Crypto for President.
To that college football topic that I teased about an hour and 10 minutes ago in just a second. The show being brought to you by our friends at A+. Brownie, tell us about A+.
That is my man, Brad Bell. A+ Tile Home Remodeling is who redid, the master bathroom in my house. When it came time to do it, my wife scoured the internet looking for the best person for the job. She talked to contractors. She talked to people that had used certain contractors, read reviews, and she picked Brad Bell. And I am so glad she did. His crews did amazing work. Exactly what we wanted. 205-422-1758 is Brad's number. He specializes in master bath, kitchen, and master bedroom closets. It's not to say that's the only thing he does. It's just what he specializes in, and it's what you're going to enjoy while you own the home. You spend a lot of time in those areas, and you're going to get your money back when you go to sell it. Master bath, kitchen, and master bedroom closets. 205-422-1758. Brad Bell. A+ Tile Home Remodeling. That's his cell number. Anywhere in Alabama, he can work for you. 205-422-1758.
All right. So I asked the question, whose reputation is better than their results? Today, 40 and 40 countdown, UCF Gus Malzahn is, I think, a well-respected coach. He's played for a national championship. I don't know if he falls into this category or not. Reputation as a coach better than his results. Does he fall into that category, you think, or is he just
no?
Is he is what he is?
I think he is what he is.
Okay. The one I wanted to bring up to you is PJ Fleck at Minnesota.
Yeah, I know what's going to happen here.
I kind of think PJ is what he is.
Oh, interesting.
So you think he's viewed a better coach than he is?
I think he's viewed a better coach than his results are at Minnesota.
Okay. I am again going to exclude the COVID year.
Okay.
And what he has done at Minnesota.
Do that, and keep in mind, he has played in the worst division. No more divisions in the Big Ten. He's played in a very average division his entire time at Minnesota.
Do we realize how difficult that job is?
That's what I'm about to say now. Here's his 6 years, excluding the COVID year. 5-7, 7-6, 11-2, 9-4, 9-4, 6-7.
Oh, I think that's a borderline
actually,
A job.
You got to grade this on a curve here, man.
Yeah.
That's actually a little better than I thought it was.
Yeah.
So what was he last year?
6-7. I mean, that's not a great year. Yeah. I don't argue that, but that's if you exclude COVID, that's coming off 11-2, 9-4, 9-4. I mean,
the only thing I would say is Nebraska is a much better job, but look at how much better he's been than Nebraska.
He is, but I don't know if Nebraska is a better job in those years. It can be, and it will be. Historically, it has been.
Yeah,
I think you've got a lot more resources at Nebraska.
50-34, 29-32 in the Big Ten at Minnesota,
but 29-32 in the Big Ten
at Minnesota.
At Minnesota.
I mean, I know he was in the bad division. I get that. I get what you're going to say.
Let me ask you this: if you could have one of the two guys and take away, because Gus is goofy too. Ugh.
Well, I mean, PJ Fleck is too.
Oh, no doubt. That's what I'm saying.
Thing, yeah.
PJ's hokey. Yeah. Gus is goofy. If you take that away from PJ Fleck, I mean, I would much rather have PJ Fleck as a coach than Gus Malzahn.
I had to.
I think he's a better coach.
I'd rather have Matt Rule.
Well, I would too.
I mean, PJ Fleck did better than Jerry Kill, and we thought Jerry Kill was terrific at Minnesota.
He was
PJ Fleck's been much better. And I'm telling you, man, you go back. I'm just trying to go back before. There is nothing in our lifetime that compares to what PJ Fleck has done at Minnesota.
And Tanner Morgan was good. He wasn't great, but I mean, he hasn't had like good play at quarterback.
Like I remember being
That's
a kid.
His job though is to get good play at quarterback.
Well, I mean, it's hard, especially in NIL now. Yeah. It's gonna be really difficult for them to get good quarterbacks.
I remember
Target is based in Minnesota.
Well, what does
some
that
other great
mean?
companies.
Well, I mean, that doesn't mean you're going to get in their NIL pockets.
Why not?
Well, I mean, because what kind of connection do they actually have to Minnesota Golden Gopher football? Just because their company's based there.
I'll say this: their win total this year is 5.5.
Minnesota's?
Yeah.
Are you going to go over or under? Which one are you saying, over or under? You want their schedule real quick?
I mean, their schedule's gotten more difficult.
No,
you don't get to feast on that crap division anymore.
I would lean over, but I wouldn't feel great about it.
You get their schedule?
Yeah, as soon as I close this stupid ad and they put the stupid X right there so you actually click on the ad.
Caleb's saying, should PJ have held out one more year at Western Michigan? We remember the perfect season, and they would have been the Group 5 representative that year. But Minnesota pays a lot of money.
They open with North Carolina. That's that first Thursday night. It's maybe the best Thursday night game.
Yeah. By the way, interesting game for both those coaches.
No, I agree. Here's their Pac-12, or their Big Ten, excuse me. Iowa at Michigan, USC at UCLA, Maryland at Illinois, at Rutgers, Penn State at Wisconsin.
That's a tough schedule.
That is a tough schedule.
But no Ohio State.
No Ohio State, but a lot of losses on there.
Penn State?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, Penn State. Home game, though.
I think it's 5 or 6 wins. You got to beat North Carolina.
Yeah,
you got to.
That North Carolina is going to be your difference in a bowl or not, probably.
That 5.5 number, man. Landmine Believer says Lincoln Riley. We'll bring this back tomorrow when we have a little bit more time. Reputation's better than the results that you're getting. Mario Cristobal, another one of those that's popping in there over there. When we come back, Brandon Marcello talks to us about everything college football. It's Brandon Marcello time of the year, man. When we talk to Marcello, it always reminds me of SEC Media Days not far away coming up in Dallas. We're only 93 days away from week 0, which I think means we're 100 days away from Alabama football and Auburn football.
How about that?
I think that's the case.
Okay. Close enough.
It's close enough, right? So we'll talk to Marcello when we come back. The show being brought to you by our friends at Storm Restoration Roofing. Greg from Pell City and Storm Restoration Roofing. Those summer storms can blow through and loosen a shingle that'll allow water to enter your roof, and you don't like that. Greg gets up there and gives you a free no-cost roof inspection. A-plus rated with the Better Business Bureau. Insurance companies trust him. It's locally owned for over 20 years. Give Greg a call, 205-542-3531 for that free no-cost roof inspection. He replaces roof. He does storm damage. He does it all. You can look him up on Facebook, too. It's Greg from Pell City and Storm Restoration Roofing.
Follow LT on Twitter at @TheLanceTaylor.
Man, I love a good meal.
I'm Jim Dunaway. A good meal is what you get with my friend Sterling at Champy's Chicken on Highway 119 in Alabaster. We're talking great southern fried chicken, wonderful sides, hand-cut chicken fingers, po' boys, and those Mississippi Delta recipe tamales. You got a perfect menu for everybody. Champy's Chicken is perfect for watching the big game, or taking a meal to the lake house, down to the coast, or stay in the restaurant and dine in a great atmosphere. It's all made fresh to order right there on 119 in Alabaster, Champy's Chicken.
This hour of The Next Round is presented by the Birmingham Racecourse Casino, now featuring 7 days of giveaways with your chance to win a share of up to $125,000. The more you visit the Birmingham Racecourse Casino, the more chances you have to win.
If renting is putting a dent in your bank account, here's your sign from the universe that it's time to buy a new home. And who better to help you through the ins and outs of home buying than our friends at Mortgage Right. With Mortgage Right, you don't have to worry about becoming a short notice mortgage expert because they do all the heavy lifting for you. They're trusted mortgage professionals, and they'll help you choose the right mortgage option and stand by your side every step of the way. Visit mortgageright.com/TNR to buy before renting runs you dry. That's mortgageright.com/TNR. NMLS 2239, Equal Housing Lender.
You never know what we're up to here at The Next Round. The easiest way to stay in the know with our antics and adventures is to follow The Next Round across all social media platforms at Next Round Live on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Whether it's Dunaway sleeping in the studio, Tim and Lunsford breaking down the latest movie release, or Game Day Chronicles, we are here to keep you updated on the latest sports news while, of course, having just a little bit of fun. Follow at Next Round Live across all platforms to join in.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, you're in the red zone for every college rivalry and divisional matchup all season long. On game day, you never have to decide which teams to watch, only what combination of bites, burgers, wings, and more to order. Plus, where else are your favorite draft beers always poured at a frozen 29 degrees? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Stick around after the sun sets. Twin Peaks is open really late. Wind down with bourbon and late night bites. Only at Twin Peaks.
When on YouTube, you constantly hear requests to please like and subscribe. Well, here at Disrupt Media, we aren't going to play that game. Those demands are frankly outdated. So we just want you to hit like or subscribe. It's like a choose-your-own-adventure novel. Pick a path, hit like, or hit subscribe. It's your call. We don't care which, just pick one. Or go to Roll Tide Pods and do it. Or War Damn Pods. Or the Disrupt Media YouTube channel. Or The Meltdown. Just make a decision and stick with it. Like or subscribe, the choice is yours.
Hang out with The Next Round on the go. Whether you're driving to work, running errands, sitting on the beach, or you just need a break from the real world, we can keep you company. Check out The Next Round, Mystery Fifth Hour, and our other shows on your favorite podcast app. We'll meet you there.
Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown, and Rockstar. Live from the Birmingham Racecourse Casino Studios, The Next Round, presented by Bud Light, is on now.
LSU leading Kentucky 2-0, bottom of the fifth. First of 4 games down the street at the Hoover Met. SEC tournament continues all weekend long, secsports.com. For tickets there, Champy's Chicken brings you the 11 o'clock hour. We're 3 minutes into the lunch hour at Champy's on Highway 119 in Alabaster. Jump down there, order that chicken that's brined overnight, cooked to order, piping hot. Mississippi Delta recipe tamales and so much more. Highway 119 in Alabaster. Tell Sterling we said hi. This guy wishes on the show every day, to be honest with you. Brandon Marcello, I like his work that much. He's a cool dude, and I wish we were in Dallas right now at SEC Media Days hanging out.
Oh, with a bottle of bourbon?
I don't know about the bottle of bourbon.
Okay. That's what happened last time. Brandon Marcello is with us now, 24/7 Sports.
New backdrop for Brandon.
It is. How are you, Brandon?
Good. How are you guys? We're all going to get tattoos in Dallas this time.
Hey, where did you get the Dunaway? I saw he shot out another selfie yesterday, and he likes to roll his sleeve up where you can see his tattoo.
It was a post-golf swing. It was a natural little flare-up of that.
Yeah.
Hey, where'd you get the leather helmet behind you?
Flea market somewhere.
Oh, cool.
I think, it was just real cheap. Thought it looked cool.
What's the significance of the Jeep Wrangler on the printer?
I'm a Jeep guy. That's awesome. Replica Hot Wheel model of my Jeep that I've got in the garage, 2019 Jeep Wrangler Sahara.
And congratulations on the National Sportscaster and Sports Writers of America Award there. I got a few of those.
That was like 9-10 years ago.
Yeah.
It's been a while since I was well respected.
Yeah. me too. Mine was 2011, 2012. Yeah, it's been a while.
Before we get to actual on-field football, for dummies like us, can you give us 60 seconds on why a private equity firm is looking to invest?
God.
Okay. You don't have to. I mean,
the thing is that we're all done with, unless you're in private equity. This has long been discussed. In fact, back in even before this, but in December, my first interaction with anybody was actually with the folks at Redbird Capital, who are involved in this new endeavor with Drew Weatherford, the former Florida State quarterback. And we were discussing things like, how much would a football program be worth? Like if you were to just straight up like buy a football program and license it or whatever through the university. So that's really the only connection. And, a lot of this stuff's over my head, but, we're just throwing numbers out there. It's like, Michigan would easily be worth $1 billion, right? But obviously with private equity, private capital, whatever the heck you want to call this, is very much different in the sense that I think, especially in modern terms, whenever we hear private equity, we immediately think, oh, they come in and they gut the place and then they sell it off for spare parts. They make money off of it. I guess what Drew Weatherford's trying to do with Redbird Capital, which he's partnered with, is it's almost like they're providing a loan to these schools potentially, but also it's kind of supported by very thick revenue streams. So that I mean ticket sales, concession stands, all that type of stuff, where you're not really going to be worried that you're going to be losing money out of all this. But what they can do in Redbird Capital in this new group is that they can come in and help support your ticket sales, bolster those things, handle those things for you. So a lot of these athletic departments could potentially, lay off some of their employees, 30, 50 employees, whatever, that work in concessions or ticket sales and all these other logistics to quote unquote save money, while this capital group comes in, helps with that, but also gives them some front end money to help stave off the pending gut punch they're all going to take with this new House case being settled soon, where upwards to $30 million in line items could be added annually to some of these big programs. Now, I don't see any big programs going after this venture, this private capital, but there could be some mid-tier Power 5 programs that could do so. But listen, there is some valid criticism of all this. One, because this stuff is what it is with private equity. I mean, you just saw it with Red Lobster, for example, going under. But this does seem to be a little bit different. Having said that, if you are a athletics director or administrator in an athletics department on the Power 5 level, and you have not been preparing for this day that you're going to have to pay athletes and add multi-million-dollar line items to your budget for the last 5 to 6 years, you have not been doing your job. And now this is a way for them to, one, save themselves and put a temporary Band-Aid perhaps on the problem, these new line items that they're going to have. And meanwhile, they get to maybe save themselves, one, their big paydays, not just for them, but also the other athletic department employees and all that. So, again, everything's about money in college athletics, even well before, as we know, this upcoming professionalization of it. And now that the folks that look like they're going to lose a lot of money, or the potential to use a lot of money to build things and everything, they're struggling to find answers because they haven't quite prepared for this. That's not everybody. Most of everybody's prepared for this.
It'll be a sad scene when they're backing up trucks repossessing like Illinois or Indiana.
Well,
taking the whole program.
I do think it's fascinating. If private equity is allowed in this space, we were talking about this last week, what these programs would be worth, and I think they'd be worth anything the NHL's got out there. So I agree with you. I think Michigan probably valuation's about $1 billion.
But the one point we brought up, Brandon, and I'd love his thought on this, was we asked, like, if Vandy said we want to play, we don't want to play at the SEC anymore. We want to play at the ACC or the Big 12 level, but we're able to auction off to sell our spot in the SEC. How much would that be valued at? to somebody else could buy into the SEC in Vandy's spot. I thought that was a pretty hefty price too. And then they would go down to a lower tier and play somewhere else.
Want to get your take on that, but also, again, if private equity is allowed in this space, we've got a thing called the Live Tournament. It's in Nashville this weekend. And let's just hypothetically say that Oklahoma State, the Saudis came after them. I'm not saying the Saudis are laundering money through Live, but they don't care about making money with that. But if they were like, you know what, let's buy a program in college football, where do we draw the line on something like that?
I don't know. I don't know if there's really any line to be drawn because there's already precedent for that, as you say, with Live Golf, the WWE dealing with the Saudis as well. I've seen they're striking incredible deals there where they're hosting events that give them as much money back as they get for their main event, WrestleMania, every year, just by hosting kind of some mid-tier pay-per-views or whatever in Saudi Arabia. I was reading about that just yesterday. So, yeah, money talks, and I do think they're probably a ways away from that. This talk of private equity getting involved in college sports, it's been talked about for quite some time. I've really been hearing it pick up over the last year and a half or so when Florida State's been exploring leaving the ACC, and then also some financial opportunities for them as they prepare for that, potentially have to pay all these big fees. How do they get that capital together? And so that's around. But I think like the top tier Power 5 programs, like if the only ones that would do something like that with private equity would be the ones that are looking to just, like as you said, potentially break away or almost in a way buy themselves into a new conference or whatever this new collegiate model looks like for the power conferences. But I still think we're probably a few years away from ever maybe hearing any rumblings about that or even relegation, as you mentioned, like with a Vanderbilt or something like that. Because at some point, if this whole model, everything's always been steered by money, but it's always been like a zero-sum game for us. It's like, we just spend all the money we get in and act like it's a 501c or whatever. We're not going to pay the players because we're investing in them, which is complete BS. It's always been BS. Now we can finally say it out loud. But at some point, when you finally say that money is the game, that changes things, and it's going to continue to change things. If this did not look the way it does today that it did 3.5 years ago, right before the Alston case. So you can imagine if people behind the scenes keep pushing things and trying to get things done, especially on the private side, as we see now with that getting involved, I don't think you can discount any possibility.
Does the Jaden Rashada lawsuit impact Billy Napier more than wins and losses on the field? Like, could ultimately that cost him his job, or will it all come down to results?
Results, I think. He's even getting help for the counsel there from the University of Florida. A case like this you just thought was going to come up at some point, and there have been rumblings around Rashada for quite some time that this was being looked into. But yeah, I don't even think no matter what happens with that case, unless the NCAA somehow were to get involved and go, yes, we're penalizing Billy Napier for being directly involved in negotiations if they were to find that or whatever. But even so, before that happens, the results are going to speak for themselves this year, whether he gets to stay or go at Florida.
Brandon Marcello is with us at B. Marcello on Twitter. You read his stuff, watch his videos, everything at 24/7 Sports. And also follow him on social media. Do everything for him we ask you to do for us. Give him thumbs ups on everything he does. Like it. Follow it. Subscribe. He's on the JohnstonRVCenter.com hotline. Our team today, we're doing 40 teams and 40 shows. Our team today is Central Florida. And I know you've got a relationship with Gus Malzahn. You've spent some time with him. What is that situation like in Orlando? That seems to be a fan base that has developed higher taste than 9 wins, 6 and 7.
Yeah, and I'll say this, all the new Big 12 teams last year, UCF was the best one out of them all, and they were 6 and 7.
Yeah.
And it was the first losing season Gus Malzahn's had since his first year as a high school coach. And so they are going, we see Ole Miss going all in with the transfer portal this year to win a championship this year. I think UCF, to a smaller extent, is doing that right now. I think they are in the top 10, maybe top 8 in the amount of transfers they brought in this year. They brought in a lot of Power 5 guys, Power 4 guys, I should say, including KJ Jefferson, as you mentioned. My big question, though, with them is just their defense. Their defense regressed last year. I was not impressed. Gus and co., they made a lot of changes, hired a new defensive coordinator, shook up that defensive staff, and he's even shook up the offensive staff. He's kind of hit the recycle button on that by saying, I'm going to call plays again. And so we'll see how this works. I really like KJ Jefferson. I do think there are concerns about his weight. Last year, he's probably playing a little bit heavier than he should have at Arkansas. And then, he faced a recent arrest for a speeding ticket. And, you get to see his weight and everything. And he was heavier than what he was listed at UCF this spring. So you're like, what's going on there? I mean, say for me, a guy who used to be 324 pounds to shame anybody, but I'm not shaming anybody. It's just the position is what it is. He's got to run the football and stay healthy in doing so to be successful. But, UCF has what they're doing in the transfer portal this year is in an effort that the Big 12 in many ways is wide open this year. I could see any one but maybe 3 teams, maybe 2 teams in the Big 12 winning the Big 12 championship this year. And UCF obviously wants to be in the mix of that. And if they could somehow get to the Big 12 championship game or at least be in contention, this is something that could be that turning point for the program early here. I mean, rarely early do you get to see a program come into a Power 5 conference have a chance. UCF, they feel like they have that. We'll see on the field this year, but they're building toward that with the transfer portal. And, Gus Malzahn in a lot of ways, I think, is very much – he wants to win a championship, and maybe he will there, but he's very much like it seems like a transitional coach for them as they go from Group of 5. He's built the program up before. He knows how it works to be in a major program. I think he's doing a good job getting UCF up to that level of understanding what it actually takes to contend at that level. Whether he can do that or not, it's going to be very difficult. It'll be very difficult for any coach in that situation, but they're going all in this year, it seems like.
Staying in that state, the state of Florida, I think is fascinating. I know Florida State was an undefeated ACC champion last year, but if I was to ask you, Florida State, Miami, Florida, UCF, even South Florida with what Alex Golich did last year, which one of those 5 programs wins a college football playoff game first?
Phew. Florida State. Just because Mike Norvell, the way he builds his program and the consistent way he's done so by complementing high school recruiting with the transfer portal, he's done about as good of a job as anybody is actually balancing that out. I think I've told you guys that multiple times over the last 3 years, and the proof was in the pudding last year. I think that this year they're actually deeper than they were last year. It's just they don't have as much star power in their starting 11 on offense and defense, but they're still going to be in contention in the ACC this year, guys. Also, it's going to come down a lot to schedule. Here in the immediate future. I could see Miami going to the playoff this year. I could. I love the pieces they've got in there. Criticize Mario Cristobal all you want as a coach or whatever, but he knows how to build championship programs. He was doing that at Oregon. He set the stage there for what Dan Lanning's experiencing right now and has really put rocket fuel into. But adding Cam Ward was 2 of my favorite quarterbacks in the portal this entire offseason, him and Will Howard, who ended up going to Ohio State. They've been adding pieces all across the board there. They are spending money like crazy. And last year's team was a team that I thought could contend to maybe be like a 9-win team. This year's team, I think, is one that could contend to be an 11-win team. And maybe I'm just not paying close enough attention, but that week 1 game, Miami at Florida,
huge,
is gigantic.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see what happens there because if Miami goes in there and just destroys Florida in the swamp, we're going to be talking about Miami big time. If Florida were to beat Miami, boy, is the heat going to turn up on Mario Cristobal, because I'm not saying he's going to get fired this year if they were to have a losing season, but my goodness, they better show some big-time returns this year after everything they've done over the transfer portal there over the last 2.5 years, because you've got to start showing big-time results, and you can't lose on the road to a Florida program that's already sitting there writing out the buyout checks for Billy Napier.
Yeah, that Cristobal Napier could take us back to Malzahn, Les Miles down at Jordan-Hare. Les lost the job in that close game. It could be a fun night. SMU, where do they slot into the ACC? Because Red Lashley's built a nice little program there at SMU. Now they make the transition to the Atlantic Coast Conference.
Yeah, very difficult. I trust Red as a play caller and what they do offensively. It's just a matter of, do they have the bodies? 13 of the 20 transfers they brought in, I believe, were offensive and defensive linemen, and they were, for the most part, all Power 4 guys. So that coaching staff knows and understands, and in short order here. I mean, listen, they didn't know they were joining a major conference till September 1st last year.
Yeah.
So unlike Oklahoma or Texas or all these other programs have like a couple of years to prepare recruiting to go into a new conference, they didn't have much time. But the portal is is a luxury for them to be able to get everything going there. I don't quite know what to expect from them though. It's going to be very difficult for them, I think, to adjust immediately to that because the week after week grind, that's going to require a lot of depth. And I'm not so certain SMU has it right now. But they're probably going to pull off an upset or two of some sort this year. And what I think is going to be, as I said earlier, a wide open Big 12. For them, I think their ACC home opener this year is Florida State. So talk about a statement game in late September. That'll be a heck of an atmosphere there in Dallas. I can't wait to see how they adjust to everything with, getting the top dog in your house as your home opener.
At B Marcello is where you follow Brandon on Twitter, National College Football Reporter 24/7 Sports, where you can read his work, go support him, and like all of his work there. Brandon, thank you very much for the time. Always great talking with you.
All right, see you guys. I wish I was in Hoover this week. This is one of my favorite weeks of the year as far as any postseason tournaments.
Yeah, and you know what?
SEC baseball is fantastic. I'm not a baseball guy either, but I love it.
And this is probably overall the best weather we've ever had for it. Like, there's almost always been a rain situation. There's no rain in the forecast, I don't think. So
and highs in the 80s.
Yeah, I mean, this has been fantastic weather for it, too.
Yeah.
So that makes it even worse that you're missing it.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I do not miss covering a game till like 1 or 2 in the morning, though, if it's delayed.
Yes, those are bad.
Hey, it was packed last night, though. Mississippi State Ole Miss.
That's
packed.
what I saw.
Yeah.
The game last night was amazing. And, nothing beats having the ice cream coolers there in the press box.
It is good, yes.
That's what I
agree.
miss.
Thank you, Brandon. Take care.
All right, see you guys.
All right, Brandon Marcello with us on the JohnstonRVCenter.com hotline.
Hey, by the way, Cut 4 rock star Rob Vaughn, Alabama's head coach. They got beat yesterday by South Carolina. They got the next game today, South Carolina taking on the Arkansas Razorbacks. But Alabama, who had a good year, first-year coach Rob Vaughn, he was asked, did he do enough? Did they do enough to make the NCAA tournament? Here's what Rob Vaughn said.
Do you feel like you guys have done enough to kind of get in and be able to stake your claim in the tournament?
Yeah, I mean, I'm probably against the advice of everybody else. I don't think there's really much of a question. But for me, I'm a big believer in not leaving my fate in anybody else's hands. That's kind of how I've approached everything in my life. I don't want my future. I don't want my career. I don't want anything dictated in the hands of somebody else. And by not getting it done today, you kind of leave it in somebody else's hands. But I think when you look at the body of work with the series wins we have, the quality wins we have, the lack of bad losses that we have, I think it's a no-brainer that this is one of the top 64 teams in the country. Now, again, there's a lot of people that have a lot of different opinions on that, so we'll see how it plays out, but there's really not a doubt in my mind these kids should get a chance to keep playing next week.
I can't even believe it's a debate.
Well, I don't think it is. Like, going into the Auburn series, I read Kendall Rogers, who covers college baseball on the national level. He seeded the field himself. And the reason I read it was because the headline said SEC gets top 4 seeds. I'm like, holy crap, that's insane. But then I looked, and I think the 5th seed was North Carolina, and Alabama was the 2 seed in the Chapel Hill region. I mean, they were a 2 seed going into the Auburn series. Now they lost 2 out of 3 in that series. I get it.
Yeah, I thought the narrative was everybody in Hoover was going to be in.
That's all I've ever heard.
Forrester said earlier when I said, what's the big deal for Ole Miss? Forrester said it was the last game of the season. I figured Ole Miss was in.
Are they not in,
I know
Scott?
they're not in as good a situation as Alabama.
Scott doesn't have Ole Miss in his bracket?
No, Ole Miss has no shot.
Ole Miss has no shot.
Ole Miss has no shot.
So that was the end of their season legitimately.
Yes.
Okay. All right, Scott. I didn't know you were doing a bracket back there.
Stake bet?
You sound confident. Sounds very, very confident. I looked up at the lights there, too.
Yeah.
Dang it.
Me too. All right, trash when we come back. The show being brought to you today by our friends at UCA, Urology Centers of Alabama. Great folks there at Urology Centers of Alabama. When you get a little older, 20s into 30s, 30s into 40s, 40s into 50, as a man, you need to stay on top of certain things, especially your prostate health, kidney stones, and everything in between. That's what Urology Centers of Alabama can do for you guys. They keep you on top of your health. UrologyCentersAlabama.com, UrologyCentersAlabama.com, 205-930-0920. What we have, you have 16 urologists 16 locations, 36 urologists for you, standing by to help you out. So make an appointment today and stay on top of your health. Urology Centers of Alabama, urologycentersalabama.com.
Follow Brownie on Twitter and Instagram at Ryan Brown Live.
Golf season is here, and if you're looking for a great golf course with affordable rates, you need to check out the newly renovated Woodward Golf Club. Woodward Golf Club is a semi-private club with membership opportunities available, but is also open to the public. You can book tee times online at this hidden gem by going to golfwoodward.com. For only $195 per month, you can enjoy unlimited golf 7 days a week. Membership includes discounted cart fees, unlimited range balls, and the use of our practice facilities. For more information on memberships and the course, check us out online at golfwoodward.com.
Things fall apart. There's even a book about it, but that doesn't mean you have to break the bank to fix them. Ryan Brown here for the next round. Our friends at Mortgage Right have a new renovation option that will make repairs and other home improvements easy. If you've recently purchased a home and find yourself short on cash, or you're looking to buy a fixer-upper, Mortgage Right's renovation loan program can help you spruce up your space. Repairs can be made to your roof, plumbing, flooring, and more with the help of top-notch mortgage professionals. So get your fix by visiting mortgageright.com/TNR. And MLS 2239, Equal Housing Lender.
Storm season is here. Make sure you have a plan of action in place right now. Greg from Pell City and Storm Restoration Roofing should be your first call when storms hit. Insurance companies love working with Storm Restoration Roofing because of Greg Nelson's name and reputation in the industry. When storms hit, call Greg Nelson. He's local, 205-542-3531. He's the home of the free no-cost roof inspection. Greg from Pell City on Facebook, 205-542-3531. It's Storm Restoration Roofing.
Hey, Lance Taylor from the next round to tell you about my friends at Michelson Laser Vision, located conveniently UAB Highlands. Almost 20 years ago, I went in for the procedure. Only took 12 minutes for both eyes. When I went in, I had 2200 vision. I was legally blind. Now I have 20/15 vision, still 19 years later. Make the call today. Schedule a hassle-free consultation, 969-8100. Dr. Mark Michelson, Dr. Jen Michelson, Michelson Laser Vision. Make sure you tell them the next round sent you, 969-8100 or MichelsonLaserVision.com.
Every day, someone is ridiculed and mocked for the clothing they chose to wear. It's a harsh reality we all must face. But you have the chance to change all of that with one visit to nextround.store. For just a few minutes of browsing, you will observe so many clothing options, from hats to hoodies to t-shirts. Please, for yourself or someone you love, go to nextround.store and embrace the warmth of true attire.
Hey, you. Summer's here. Time to get hot. And at New Balance Birmingham, that's just what we got. For a summertime vibe, see what's inside. Come together at New Balance Birmingham on Highway 280, right next to Chick-fil-A. New Balance Birmingham, we got now.
Big news, Barry Bonds to the Hall of Fame.
I saw this.
What? He's
So
going as a, he's just going to pay the admission?
So misleading, Dunaway.
He's going to the Pittsburgh Pirates Hall of Fame.
He should.
Yeah.
The Hall of Fame's a joke now. I don't even want to go to Cooperstown ever.
Because of the steroids people not being in?
Roger Clemens, best pitcher I ever saw, beginning his career to the end of his career.
Mm-hmm.
Barry Bonds is a top 3 most dominant player I've ever seen, if not the most dominant player. I'll still stick Griffey Jr. without injury was the best player I've ever seen. But Barry Bonds is right there. For him not to be in the Hall of Fame, I don't care what he was on. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. Philadelphia, by the way, wins again last night, 35-14. Only the second time since 1979 that the Phillies are 35-14.
Yeah, it's crazy, and they're doing it right now without Trey Turner. You know, Trey Turner, one of the best in the game. I think they're 13-3 without Turner in the lineup.
They are 6 games up on Atlanta now. After last night, Braves lost to the Cubs.
This will be interesting. So Fried going today. You know what Fried is all time against the Cubs?
How many appearances?
5 starts against the Cubs.
5 starts against the Cubs. I'm going to say he's 5-0. You would have brought it up
as well.
5-0 with a 1.24 ERA in Wrigley. He is 3-0 with a 1.59 ERA. On the other side, though, Justin Steele is a guy that doesn't lose at Wrigley either. So this will be fun. I got a free play on the Cubs today.
This is my new thing.
What does that do for me?
Gets your attention. It means I'm ringing the bell.
Yeah.
Hammer the Braves.
I got the Cubs today. I like the Cubs plus the 108.
Hammer the Braves.
Yeah. You sound like you're calling the stock market in.
I'll take the Braves for a steak.
All right, guys. The market is now open.
Braves for a steak?
You want Braves for a steak?
I'm a dog in this situation. Look, I mean, I like the play, but I don't know if I feel good for a steak.
A part of the show being brought to you by our friends at Odie's. Do you feel good about trivia?
Every Wednesday. It is Wednesday, Rockstar. What does that mean?
My God, that's annoying.
Odie's Team Trivia. Yeah, there we go. Every Wednesday night, Rocky will be out there. Brown was with us last week.
I was.
I think you're going to be back soon. Maybe I just dreamed that. I don't know.
I've not been informed, but I'll come anytime.
But tonight, it'll be me, Will Haver, and Rockstar. We'll get started a little after 8 o'clock. Come join us. Always a great time. Get there a little early. Enjoy great food from Rodney Davis. Been doing it for 33 years. Award-winning wings, delicious burgers, great sandwiches, including the Diablo sandwich, ice-cold beer buckets full of Bud Light. 2 locations. We'll be at the original tonight in Crestline, but the newest location in Edgewood. Stop in, see Will Haber and all the great staff there.
Matt with an amazing stat there. Barry Bonds, just last week, he says, my Tampa Bay Rays just passed Barry Bonds for all-time walks. My whole franchise since 1996.
All-time walks?
Yeah, we just now passed Barry Bonds in all-time walks.
I would assume that. What about home runs? Not even close.
Oh,
right?
we're probably not even close to that.
That's insane.
Yeah, insanity. It's time for trash. It is brought to you every day by our friends at Mortgage Right, but it never, ever happens until Rockstar hits the big button.
At the belt. And now the 3-2 swung on, a pop foul back here. Ow! Ow!
He really hit me.
It really hit me. I didn't know it was coming back that far.
LT's Trash is presented by Mortgage Right. Mortgages done the right way.
Spring buying season. Our friends at Mortgage Right are here to help. When is it officially summer? Not until the middle of June,
June
right?
22nd, I believe, is the
there
date.
You go. Veteran founded here in Birmingham, offer loans throughout the country. While the area they serve may have grown, their commitment to Birmingham and veterans hasn't changed. Before you take the next steps on a new home purchase or refinance, talk with the team at Mortgage Right. No cost or obligation to find out what you qualify for. You can get more information by going to the website mortgageright.com. You can call that Highway 280 office, 205-900-7200, NMLS 2239, equal housing lender.
June 20th, by the way. June 20th, first day of summer.
Technically this weekend.
You could argue with a calendar.
Kind of the way I look at it, and it's going to be 90 degrees.
I know.
So I think summer's here.
It starts for the kids. My daughter's last day of school is tomorrow. Get the old half day tomorrow.
Yeah, I believe once you have back sweat, it's summertime.
I have not.
Good God, so I would say, last Monday?
I can get back sweat in this.
Yeah, I can get that in December.
I can't do in the winter.
Have not played first round of pool golf yet, though.
That
kind of signifies
summer really
too.
hasn't started.
That'll happen this weekend. YouTube channel Hacksmith Industries has successfully jerry-rigged a working still suit inspired by the Dune science fiction universe. Using a combination of computer parts and health and safety personnel protective equipment, their still suit made drinkable water from the wearer's sweat, breath, and even pee.
No, thank you. So my sweat, breath, and pee get converted into drinkable water for me.
Well, if you're on Arrakis, you have to do this.
If I'm on a what?
A planet Arrakis.
Who's Rack?
What are they laughing at? What is Arrakis? Is that from Dune?
It's from Star Trek.
Well, Arrakis, I don't even know.
This is actually good. You shouldn't know this.
No, that's from Star Trek.
It's Frank Herbert's 1965 epic, Dune, that they turned into a 1984 disaster, but they have reinvented it. The first one was good. The second one was really good.
I said, who's Rack?
But this is survival gear for the inhabitants of the fictional desert planet of Arrakis.
Okay, but this is not real.
He's on the A team. Arrakis wasn't he?
Yeah, BA.
Wasn't real, but according to the lore, these suits can recycle most of the wearer's body moisture to enable they survive the harsh environment. However, while fictional, the team at Hacksmith Industries thought they'd try to make a working prototype. Surprisingly, they were pretty much able to make the concept work. When asked what the water tastes like, they said, warm, but it tastes just like water.
I got this thing in my house, like if you lift it, the water comes out. I got that at my house.
Hose.
Yeah. I've got one of those too. Yeah, you got to turn a little thing for that. Yeah.
So is that Alex Keaton in the mask and fictitious Jesus on the right there? I mean, who's are these characters
Alex
in the
Keaton
movie?
from Family Ties.
Alex Keaton, Family Ties.
That's what he looks
That's
like.
Michael J. Fox.
That looks like Alex Keaton.
No.
Well, he's got a mask on. I can't
Yeah, I
tell.
mean, I don't know what he looks
not
like.
Alex Keaton. Who's the one with?
He's converting his breath to water.
He's the actor that ended up started doing Christian speeches in movies.
It's Kirk Cameron.
Kirk Cameron.
Kirk Cameron.
Growing Pains. You had the wrong guy. You had Family Ties.
Growing
Mike
Pains.
Seaver.
Yeah, I got Jesus right though, right?
You did, yes.
That's
It was, an
Jesus.
80s sitcom, it was an 80s sitcom for kids, and his best friend was named Boner.
I do remember that.
Didn't Kirk Cameron marry a Playboy Playmate, though?
Yeah, he was with her for forever. And I think any scene that he's ever done in the movies with a wife, they put her in to make out. Like if there's a kissing scene, it's his wife portrayed by the other woman. It's weird. Like I'm only going to kiss
She's
my
the
wife.
body double?
Yes.
Yeah.
So we were talking about addictions earlier in the show. 27-year-old New York University law student named Adela Kojab sought treatment for her cheese addiction by enrolling in a 2-week rehab program costing over $10,000, according to the New York Post.
Cheese is good.
Now, the addiction began during her junior year at NYU in 2018 when she started consuming large quantities of cheap white cheddar and Parmesan cheese. Cravings arose as a coping mechanism for the stress she faced as the president of NYU's Zionist student group amidst campus politics and activism. Why not just resign? Excessive cheese consumption led to health issues such as weight gain, menstrual irregularities, and increased risk of type 2 diabetes.
They knew she had a problem when she had a bracelet on that just said "Let it brie."
Gosh, you stepped on it, but
God, you had it going good too. Let it breathe.
Just let it breathe.
Kojab's
all
family
these are rotelling in your head.
intervened, promoting her to seek help at the Hilton Head Health in South Carolina wellness retreat, costing at least $5,800 a week, where she learned to manage her diet, count calories, and opt for healthier snacks.
And hit a draw if she's a Hilton Head, man. That's a golf course
She
every
has
block.
shed nearly 50 pounds.
Good for her.
Other bracelet on the other wrist said it's all Gouda.
Gouda.
Isn't that what I said?
Gouda.
You said
You said Gouda. It was Gouda.
She looks like a monster there.
A little bit.
That looks like cheesecake, by the way.
Yeah, it looks like cheesecake.
It does look like cheesecake.
Hey,
I love me some cheesecake.
Is it true that cheese constipates you, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, like, if she was addicted to cheese,
She wasn't shitting.
no, she was not. Elvis didn't do it. I've brought this up so many times on the show.
Maybe that's where the picture's from. She's trying right now.
Maybe so. That's what it looks like.
These handles.
What was it, 6 weeks at the end of Elvis's life?
Something like that.
They
Something
estimated
ridiculous.
that he had not gone in 6 weeks.
That's terrible.
After playing racquetball.
No, he had a fully
Impacted colon.
impacted colon.
Yeah, it's almost like you need a cesarean there.
Yeah, I know. I mean, that's what they said when they cut him open. When they did the autopsy, like, yeah, colon's full, man. Ain't nothing coming out of
That's
there.
We
like
actually get
hunk
to
of feces.
see the second autopsy coming up in 2027.
I know. I'm not really excited about that. Oh, by the way, a judge stepped in and stopped the foreclosure of Graceland.
Yeah, way to go.
I saw that update today.
Yeah, you heard Marcello mention Red Lobster, too.
Yeah.
So private equity saved them, right?
No, they bought them. They took it away from them.
Yeah, it's over. That's an interesting story, and I always think of Rockstar with Red Lobster because his old man likes the joint. The
Captain's Feast.
When's the last time
Admiral's
he's been?
Feast. Oh, God, I don't know when the last time
I don't want to short the Admiral.
Yeah,
But
he
the
was-
story,
Admiral's Feast.
The story I read where sales were up and everything. It's just they were not turning a profit. I think they don't charge enough for the lobster.
No,
No, it was, they did the never-ending shrimp thing. They said that people took well advantage of that. And that
Yeah,
just,
those
that
sons
broke
of
them.
bitches were just knocking it out.
I come in here with a wheelbarrow. I'm done.
Did you see the story, though, that one of the companies that bought them had this, they are one of the biggest shrimp providers in the world?
Bubba Gump?
No. And that they basically, that was their scam, is they bought that so they could offload that many shrimp. Like, the company didn't really lose that money. The restaurant may have, but the
Now
company was making money because they were selling the shrimp.
You mentioned that, Rocky. It is amazing. Bubba Gump's is still open, and Red Lobster's
Oh, my
not.
God. Yeah.
Have you ever eaten at a Bubba Gump?
I have one time when we went to with my former father-in-law, me and Bethany, and Mac and Karen. We all went to Bubba Gump's outside of the Orlando Park. Universal Studios.
Yeah, isn't there a Bubba Gump's in Times,
It sucks,
in
by the way.
Times Square?
Times Square. Last time I was there, it was.
Could you imagine going to Times Square and eating Bubba Gump Shrimp Company?
People go to Sbarro.
Give me Lunsford.
I'd rather have Sbarro.
I had too.
Hey, Lunsford. I don't know if you can hear
Sbarro's
me.
got too much crust, though.
Yeah.
Lunsford has been over to the casino in Philadelphia.
Yes, I have.
I was walking past them after we left dinner at the steakhouse, and there was
Philippines.
There was
That's correct.
a couple over there that were eating
Cheesecake.
Unbelievable. All you can eat crab legs.
Oh.
And it was just a man and his wife.
Yeah.
And they had a table next to them with a bucket and then a plate full of ones they've already eaten, and they were working on another bucket of crab legs,
God.
and they were breaking this place of unlimited crab legs.
See,
Have you seen that
the
place?
moment you missed of a man on the street interview right there.
Is that common for them now? All you can eat crab legs?
I feel like that's a selling point at like every buffet. Because I remember the first time I went to Vegas, right when I turned 21, the Bellagio buffet was like, we have unlimited crab legs, and everybody was just grabbing as many crab legs as they could, putting them on their plate, going back to their table. They'd have to put a bunch more out there. I think it's kind of overrated, but I guess that's like a delicacy enough. I guess,
but I mean, I don't think it's limited.
If it's unlimited, go for it.
Yeah, it's not limited just to casinos. I think if you go to most of the all-you-can-eat buffets, they got crab legs on there.
Yeah, I think they do too.
Not a fan.
Oh, it's a lot of work for the. I don't
It is
mind.
work.
I like crab meat, but it's a lot of work for a very small payoff.
So I had crab meat when we were down on the coast 2 weeks ago. I got the stuffed crabs. I go to this one place, and I hadn't been in a couple of years. But I made the decision to go there. It's a kind of a famous place, but 5 of us went. 3 of us literally within 30 minutes had the shits. One had severe shakes, and the other threw up profusely.
After you ate stuffed crab?
Well, I was the only one that ate stuffed crab.
Well, what did they eat? Crab legs? Did they all eat the same thing?
No, all over the place.
Oh, so it was just
chicken
the
sandwich,
whole,
burger.
Yeah, so it was the whole shooting match.
I got blamed for going to the bad place. A woman known as the White Witch of Rye, who became obsessed with a wizard, faces jail for breaking into his house and smashing up his greenhouse.
I don't like rye bread.
Barbara Lane, 42 years old, bombarded self-proclaimed wizard Alfred Douglas with calls and texts after she signed up for a magic course. Now,
is he an official wizard? No, he's self-proclaimed. Okay.
They go to school for it.
Yeah.
The barrister first visited his home in Rye of East Sussex to supposedly see his library on the occult. Things soon took a turn after she persuaded him to let her stay because she claimed she had nowhere to live after her dad had died and her mom suffered a stroke. Mr. Douglas's nephew, Paul Patterson, said, quote, they became inseparable. She had his bank card, control of his bank account. She controlled what he ate, what he drank, clothes he wears. Found out his uncle had changed his will, leaving around $1.6 million to Lane, which included his home and shop. Lane falsely claimed Mr. Douglas had gone senile and told locals she was his care, resulting in him being isolated from friends. Lane told police she was his care, owed $7,600. She has been charged with 7 offenses, including stalking, criminal damage, and assault of Mr. Douglas and his family. This is like I Care a Lot, the movie we saw. Done away.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I didn't see that.
Yeah.
I saw y'all watching it, and it did kind of look interesting.
Yeah, I enjoyed that movie.
I don't know why you hate
it. Was a little romantic comedy.
Why you hate rye bread?
The taste.
What do you get?
I don't like rye. I can't stand sourdough.
Oh, I like sourdough too.
Sourdough.
What do you get? What do you get a Reuben on? Do you ever eat a Reuben?
I asked them, will you put that on wheat for me? If they say no,
Interesting.
then
Banana
I don't
bread.
get it.
See, I don't like wheat.
Do you guys know what
rye overpowers it? And those little rye seeds taste yucky.
If somebody is drinking a Borg, do you know what a Borg is?
It's a very large beer, Lance.
I did not know what a Borg is, but if you've been to a party lately and haven't seen someone drinking a Borg, you're likely not partying with college students. And if you have no idea what the sentence even means, you're probably not a member of Generation Z. Now, the acronym Borg stands for Blackout Rage Gallon. Now, according to a National Capital Poison Center, by the way, in Washington, D.C., term refers to a concoction often prepared in a gallon-sized plastic jug that typically contains vodka or other distilled alcohol, water, flavor enhancer, and an electrolyte powder or drink. Borgs are often drunk at outside day parties, otherwise known as darties. There's so much alcohol in a Borg that drinking can potentially lead to alcohol poisoning and possibly killing somebody. While the origins of the term are difficult to trace, Borgs have been making headlines since March of 2023, including a situation where 24 University of Massachusetts students, many of whom believed to be carrying Borgs, were carried away by ambulance following an off-campus event. It doesn't seem very smart.
Yeah, and it does not. I would agree. Well, I tell you what, it's amazing most kids survive college.
It is.
Some of the crazy things.
Finally, Brittany Wilson down on hard times when she got the itch to try her luck in the Florida lottery. She's battling Dunaway right now in the Florida lottery.
Come on.
Quote, it
Winner,
was
winner.
hard for me during that time, the cash-strapped mom told ABC. I was financially struggling. Something just told me to go to the store and try out my winnings. Lady Luck was on Wilson's side that day. She won $5,000, a prize so significant in her financial state, she said she was crying with joy. Quote, I was thinking about all the bills that I have had held up, just paying those off. When Wilson went to collect her winnings on January 3rd of 2024, she was handed a special circumstances ticket stating she may owe state-owned debt. Ticket stated Florida Lottery had to contact the Department of Economic Opportunity to, quote, establish if any indebtedness is owed regarding unemployment compensation Wilson had received in the past. Wilson claims she never received a letter, email, or call from the state telling her she owed them money. She told ABC she called the Florida Unemployment Assistance Program, quote, almost every day and reported waiting 2 hours at the Max 3 just to speak to someone to sort the mess out. In its report, ABC revealed thousands of Floridians like Wilson have received such a ticket and their winnings withheld by the state for overpaid unemployment compensation.
So my question for that is, does the lottery have the right, like say if I'm split up and I haven't paid child support in 20 years, do they take that out of my winnings? Like, we have this and that you have not paid this.
Yeah, I think
you
they
have no
have to.
choice. This is
Yeah.
coming out of that.
No, I think you have to, yeah.
So I think that's what they're doing to her. And she's like, well, nobody told me I owed money,
Well,
which
if
is,
it's
I don't believe that.
state-run now, but how much did she win overall?
5,000.
5,000?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to get eaten up by that, it sounds like.
You got something interesting going on with the bangs.
Yeah,
Got a little different coloring.
Right now, it'd be $6 for me. They'd have to, if I won the Florida lottery, they'd have to hold up $6.
What do you owe $6 for?
For that trip we went down and I took that bypass you put me on.
You put me on?
Yeah.
Go take that bypass. We're going to go this way.
That toll
put
road.
you on?
That toll road.
How did I put you on a bypass?
You said always trust Waze. I knew which
I
way to
always
go,
trust
but
Waze.
Waze told me to go that way. So it was $2 at one point, $4 at the other, and I
Damn,
couldn't even pay
Brown.
it there. It was a flash, and they're going to mail it to me.
Yeah,
and
they
it
mail
hasn't
it to
rolled
you.
in yet.
They do. They mail it to you. It's very easy to pay. You just go on their website.
Yeah,
Drop in that card and you're good.
They haven't mailed it to me
Oh,
yet.
they will. They're not going to miss.
Yeah. But you told me that if you don't get on it really quick, it turns into $9 pretty quick.
I didn't tell you that. I told you that I didn't realize when they first built it, I didn't even realize I was on the toll road. I got the notification. I'm like, I wasn't on the toll road. And then Jennifer was like, that road you took, that new road is a toll road. They just do by plate. I didn't know they were doing it by plate.
Is this, if if Maggie says, hey, let's go to this restaurant, you go get food poisoning, is it her fault?
Oh, 100%. No, it's not her fault. It's her restaurant. I went to your restaurant.
Yeah, it's her fault.
Yeah.
By the way, I went and had that amazing meatloaf you guys raved about
Yeah.
the other day. Dry city.
Where have I raved about me?
God, man.
The place.
Oh, the new place right
I
up here?
hope,
I haven't had that.
I used to complain a little bit. I hope that one day you're not as miserable as you always are.
I'm not miserable. I was having a great time.
Well, you should
cocktail was watery. The
you-
meatloaf was dry. The green beans looked like
it's
they were
impossible.
plastic.
You
The
need
mashed
to. I might be
potatoes were
going to that
plain.
place for lunch in a second. I think it's really good. You need to just cook your own food.
I got a lot of great restaurants I go to.
I've never heard you say a positive thing about a restaurant.
Then you don't listen. You don't listen.
Brown?
It's very rare if he does.
I've never had a bad meal at Champy's Chicken. Open right now for lunch. Proud sponsor of this hour, champyschicken.com. Highway 119 in Alabaster. That's Sterling right there. He's never cooked a bad meal in his life. My stomach testifies to that. Cooked overnight, or brined overnight, cooked to order. Mississippi Delta recipe tamales. It's our friends at Champy's Chicken, Highway 119 in Alabaster. And that was Trash, brought to you by Mortgage Right. Did we already tag them?
No, not yet. If you're looking for a new home, our friends at Mortgage Right here to help. Whether you're a first-time buyer or a seasoned home buying veteran, their great service and low rates make the process easy. So whether you're looking for your final home or your first home, whether you have a big down payment or need 100% financing, Mortgage Right, one-stop shop, 205-900-7200 or mortgageright.com.
All right, when we come back, one more segment, including what Bruce Pearl said about the Yale loss. Still talking about the Yale loss? He had his golf tournament. We'll hear what Bruce says about that. And a little bit more from last night at the Tide on Tour event here in town. That's coming up in our final segment right here on TNR.
Follow Dunaway on Twitter and Instagram at Jim Dunaway.
This hour of The Next Round is presented by the Birmingham Racecourse Casino, now featuring 7 days of giveaways with your chance to win a share of up to $125,000. The more you visit the Birmingham Racecourse Casino, the more chances you have to win.
Want more of the show? Download the app or visit nextroundlive.com for the latest podcast, The Mystery Fifth Hour, our Not For All Ages podcast, The Last Call, and the entire Double Down Media podcast family. All at nextroundlive.com and on the Next Round app.
Hey, Lance Taylor from the Next Round to tell you about one of our favorite places for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. That is Hamburger Heaven since 1982. Hamburger Heaven has been serving Birmingham's best hamburgers, cheeseburgers, French fries, hand-spun milkshakes, and sandwiches made fresh to order. All of their ingredients are fresh and prepared daily. This includes their beef, always fresh, never frozen, hand-pattied each and every day. For breakfast, lunch, or dinner, visit any of the 4 locations, Highway 280, Irondale, Gardendale, and Homewood. Hey, there's nothing worse than waking up to a plumbing problem. Don't get caught in a flooded house. Call the guys at Hemp Hill Services. Adam, Chad, and the team at Hemp Hill are the only ones I trust to fix it and fix it right the first time. Hemp Hill Services does it right and always at a fair price. For all of your plumbing, cooling, and heating needs, trust the name that Birmingham has trusted since 1954. That is Hemp Hill Services. Call now, 205-229-2090. That's 205-229-2090.
Golf season is here, and if you're looking for a great golf course with affordable rates, you need to check out the newly renovated Woodward Golf Club. Woodward Golf Club is a semi-private club with membership opportunities available, but is also open to the public. You can book tee times online at this hidden gem by going to golfwoodward.com. For only $195 per month, you can enjoy unlimited golf 7 days a week. Membership includes discounted cart fees, unlimited range balls, and the use of our practice facilities. For more information on memberships and the course, check us out online at golfwoodward.com.
Hey, Lance Taylor from the Next Round to tell you about my friends at Michelson Laser Vision, located conveniently UAB Highlands. Almost 20 years ago, I went in for the procedure. Only took 12 minutes for both eyes. When I went in, I had 2200 vision. I was legally blind. Now I have 20/15 vision, still 19 years later. Make the call today. Schedule a hassle-free consultation. 969-8100. Dr. Mark Michelson, Dr. Jen Michelson, Michelson Laser Vision. Make sure you tell them the Next Round sent you. 969-8100 or MichelsonLaserVision.com.
Follow Next Round Live on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. The social media team at Next Round Live is dedicated to giving you daily news conferences and practice video from UAB, Alabama, Auburn, and around college football. Follow and compare to the sites you used to visit. You'll also get the latest highlights and news from the Next Round Daily Show. Turn on the notifications so you don't miss a thing. Next Round Live on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. See more at nextroundlive.com.
Before LT tells us the mental health minute brought to you by Johnson RV, I want to show you something that could put Brownie or me or some people in a mental state. I tell you, imagine, Brownie, you make a living, or you at least get your scholarship paid for to play golf at East Tennessee State, and you're on your way to the NCAA golf tournament.
Yeah, I saw this video. It pissed me off.
And you look out the window, and Delta's handling your golf clubs.
Yeah, not great, they're not. Of course, now I've done that with some of my golf clubs. But at least I'm doing it, not Delta, right?
ETSU Men's Golf. Nice of Delta to handle our golf clubs with such care. They need that hard traveling case.
Oh, my God. Yeah, I mean, it's crazy. And they do it with every one of them, too.
Yeah.
You can tell they're pissed about having to deal with golf clubs.
Yeah. It's almost they're intentionally throwing them hard into the ground.
Man, I've heard stories of people getting a lot of things stolen.
Yeah. I think I've told the story on there. I knew a guy that did a little time.
Oh, he was the guy that did the stealing.
Yeah, in the baggage carry.
Yeah.
No,
you should. You take something out of somebody's bag, you should do some time.
It's literally stealing.
Or we can cut your hand off.
Literally stealing. Tell us about the mental health minute, Mr. Cut Your Hand Off.
Man, I tell you, I did a little deep dive on some of this yesterday, some of these statistics. And by the way, May is Men's Mental Health Awareness Month. It is brought to you by our friends at Johnston RV. We're going to be doing some really cool podcasts. We'll be putting those out in the next couple of weeks. This is disturbing. Estimated 12% of men between the ages of 18 and 25 seriously consider committing suicide at some point in the past year. I mean, that just blows me away. So we talk about, if you're feeling despair, if you've got anxiety, you've got stress in your life, talk to your doctor. But, if you've got a son out there, you've got a younger brother, you've got somebody talk to them. Right now, 20%, this is all percentage of college students,
20% of college students suffer from severe depression, 20% moderate depression. At least 41% of all college students have some type of depression in their life right now. Again, this is an epidemic out there. Let's get in front of it. Let's talk to somebody. You can get help. You can get peace of mind. It is brought to you by our friends at Johnston RV.
I-65, exit 304 in Coleman, 334 indicator. Always online, johnstonrvcenter.com. They've repriced both those lots I just mentioned, and they are so confident they got the best pricing anywhere in America that they will beat any price nationwide. That is the guarantee on a comparable RV. Bring them that price. They will beat it at Johnston RV Center. Again, they love the United States military the way we do on this show. You are what makes the United States of America the greatest country in the universe. No questions asked about it. And as a small way of saying thank you for your service. Retired, veterans, also active duty, get a great discount there. JohnstonRVCenter.com.
Quick reaction to this NFL news. Aaron Rodgers back at camp. What do you expect from the Jets this year?
I think the Jets are going to be good. Aaron Rodgers, we have no idea. 4 plays in, season goes down, and without a quarterback, you can't win in this league, especially in the AFC. But right now, would it shock me if the Jets won the AFC East? No. Would it shock me if the Dolphins won the AFC East? No. The Bills?
The Patriots, yes.
Patriots would.
Yeah, that's the only one.
But I think with that defense, I think it's make or break, though. If they don't go to the postseason this year, it's a complete disaster if he stays healthy.
Justin Fields says yesterday, Brownie, that he does not have the mindset to sit behind Russell Wilson all year.
Well, that's what you want. If you're a Pittsburgh Steelers fan, you want Justin Wilson either pushing, or Justin Fields either pushing Russell Wilson or beating him out and being the better of the two quarterbacks. I appreciate that about Justin Fields.
Right now in his career, he is the better quarterback.
Oh, you mean at this given
currently,
moment?
right now in this moment, yeah.
Fields is better than Wilson.
Yeah. I mean, I don't want Fields going there with the mindset of I'll just go collect a big check and be a backup. I want him fighting for that job.
Yeah, the good news is for Fields is, Denver's taking on all this salary. I think the Steelers are only on the hook for like $1 million plus.
Right.
So I don't think they're going to feel the pressure to necessarily play Wilson.
Yeah, could even cut him if Justin looks that good. The Academy is opening. NFL is opening an academy in Australia this summer. They say a game is coming to Australia, a regular season game soon. It'll be the next new country we play an international game in.
So let's fly people 24 hours now.
They're going to play it Australia.
This is so stupid. Players Association really needs to get behind this and give middle finger to Goodell and all the owners. They don't need to be playing overseas.
The NFL is going to use tracking technology to spot the ball and measure first downs during the preseason. If they like it, they'll use it during the 2024 season.
Don't understand why we're not already there. Why we depend on a couple old guys trotting out with a chain between two sticks is the most antiquated thing in sports, really. Why do we still use that? They barely use it anymore, as I pointed out. Count the times when you're watching football games where they actually measure for first downs. Anymore, the officials mark it on the closest yard line, and if it's close enough, they give it a first down.
They're going to keep even if they use it during the regular season, the new technology, they're going to keep the chain gang in place so that the players and the fans have a feel of where the first down is, but it will only be for looks. It will not be the technology they'll use for the first down.
Do we really need a chain for that?
So you're just going to pay a dude to stand there with a chain? That's a pretty good gig,
That's a
right?
great gig. He's got a sideline view.
Technically, 3 of them will all be there.
This is the most antiquated thing we do. And we barely use it anymore. I don't even know why they still have the chain gang.
And finally, just a big thank you to everybody with Yay Alabama for letting me hang out last night. It was fun to MC the event with Kalen DeBoer and Nate Oates and Greg Byrne. And then the players, I was going to tell you, Kendrick Law, Kobe Prentice, and Tim Keenum. But Kendrick Law told the story. He's a avid fisherman and hunter. And he said, I just took down a 13-point. He says, technically it was an 11 that it had lost 2 in fights or whatever you do. But he just took down a 13 whenever deer season was. He's getting it mounted. And he can't wait to get it back from the taxidermist. I don't know when's the last time you could hunt. Do you hunt? You do? When's the last time you could deer hunt? Back in the winter?
Yeah, it's still turkey season, right? I think it is.
Yeah, so back in February. But the last time he was out hunting, he got the biggest buck of his life. It's from Kendrick Law. And the big debate last night was Kobe or Kendrick was the fastest guy. And Kendrick kept telling Kobe, you're not even close all night long. Kobe Prentice says, but you're always running in the open. I am running because he was talking
That's
about
scary if Kendrick is that fast.
Well, they were talking about the GPS tracking. He's like, I beat you every game, every practice. He's like, you're running wide open. I'm having to dodge defenders. I can't get up to speed. They were arguing. It was pretty funny. Yay, Alabama. Thank you guys for allowing me to hang out with you guys. And thank all of you for being with us today. Don't forget, Uncorked Taylor Corn has a European edition that is dropping pretty soon. A live show of the Pennant Grace with Emily Grace McWhorter and Josh coming up on Thursday as the Braves get ready for another big series. Melton and Lunsford go live with the Meltdown at 2 Central today on demand as well. Roll Tide Pods and War Dam Pods for you with all the content you need on Alabama and Auburn right now at Disrupt the Media. Thank you guys for being with us. Like, subscribe, give us a thumbs up. Until next time, God bless you and God bless America.